a YouTube video. Okay, so let's get our stuff ready. Well, first I need that clock. And now I need to turn on the fan. And it's turned on. Breakfast is here. Water is here. I need to drink a lot of water. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to speak for so long. So we will try to review some stuff. By review, I mean actual learning review. So animation test, and we have projectile. That's not the one we did, but that's one of the things we've done last week. That's strong animation. See, you learn something new every day. So the next time you want to do it, it gets easier. Okay, we will disable that. We will go back to our VFX arc loop, which was about the VFX graph sparks. And we will enable our little cube again. So we have the stuff again. Now, we will go to the VFX graph workshop that we created with the UI of Unity. And now, slowly we'll bring back some of the stuff. We'll bring back the understanding of some of the stuff that we've done. I'll just review it quickly. The spawn. The spawn is the emission, right? And here we have added two properties, and they are a float, or a bool actually. They are a bool value, and one of them is a float. That is a float. The bool is the purple one. The blue one is the float. So the bool says, is this true or is this false? Here its value. Is it true or is it false? If it's false, it should emit 20 particles. And that will go into the single bursts. So if it's true, it will loop, because here we have constant spawn. So we see here the true value is hooked to the loop. And if it's true, it should constantly burst 20 particles per second, let's say. And if it's false, it will burst 20 particles once only, so it won't loop anymore. And this is how you add the loop function for the VFX graph sparks, or inside the VFX graph. Then we go down, and there is the initialized particle. Initialized particle could control the capacity of the particle system. So you put a cap on how many particles can emit. And if that cap is 30 and you're emitting 200, that means it will stay on 100 to work better for performance, for example. Now you can make that value exposed, so artists or people who are working on the game can change it from outside the graph, similar to a shader graph value that you expose, for example. Here we can see that we added a float property, and we hooked it up to the set lifetime random uniform. Lifetime is similar to the particle system lifetime, and we have been able to random two values using the multiply float. That means the spark lifetime is exposed outside of the particle graph here. It's exposed, that means you'll be able to edit it from outside in the game, or in the game development. Hopefully not in the game, of course, but like, and as your process in the game development, you don't have to go back to the graph. And that's my understanding of the graph so far, that it allows a lot of customizability for the artists. You're giving them tools to edit and see which one works, or even for the devs who aren't who aren't so concerned with the arts of it all. So you basically give them tools such as Spark Lifetime to manipulate and maybe create their own version of that effect. Say, for example, there's a sword that does a certain effect by level 1, then it does a certain effect by level 10. And so they can manipulate that during the or in the development and give it and like reference those values in code. This is all things that they could do. Maybe makes their life easier. Depends on how well you created it, of course. Okay, and now we have update particle, which I don't know much about yet. And then we have the output particle quad. Output particle quad, so far I understand it, it has a lot to do with the values that we played with before in the particle system, such as size of a lifetime, color of a lifetime, and it has a bit more stuff to it. One of the things that it has, so for example here, size random from curve, that's basically size over lifetime. And the cool thing is it could randomize the value by adding a seed. So it's a bit of a smarter size over lifetime because it could do a size over lifetime with the random value of your current curve. And it could just like adjust it a little bit. You could give it a different seed until you're happy with it. Of course, you can hook the seed to a float or to a property that you expose, and then you play with from outside the graph. Okay, so orient along velocity. Along velocity means into the direction it's moving. We're aligning the or we're orienting our scale values for now. That's how I understand it. Could mean something different. You're more than welcome to correct me if I'm wrong by any of those parameters or what I'm saying something wrong in the comments on the YouTube video or in the comments on the Twitch stream. You're more than welcome to correct me. Just gonna do one more thing. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back at you. We will continue where we left off with the orient along velocity. Okay, multiply. I didn't pause it. I should have paused it. I should still get used to that. Okay, multiply vector 3. And here we added a value that is called texture stretch, and we have added it to a multiply so it continuously keeps increasing its value if we have changed the float. This is just a way you could keep the randomness working and exposed. If you add a multiply node here, then you hook it to the b value. Okay, so far we have those values, and if I change, yes, exactly. So if I change this to a 10, you would see that it's increasing with it constantly, and here as well. Okay, good. And we have set size. Size is 2. Okay. I wonder how this affects the next value. So if I put this to 20, I wonder what would happen now. Yeah, it will change its value, 1.5, 1.2. And if I put it to 1, put it to 0, it will change constantly. Now, I remember us doing something in the inspector after we have clicked the random, or after we have clicked the size random from curve, and we have added it to multiply as composition. I wonder now if we put it to add, how would that affect the size value here? It has increased it like enormously, and here when we add it to multiply, it had affected the set size value. I still don't get this 100%, but we might get it in the future as we keep going. I think a lot of things is repetition. You just repeat it until you understand it. I just hope it won't bite me, because I just didn't get why with this effect that is below the set size, when we put it to multiply, it would affect it. Because the way it works, multiply in my mind, because I come from Photoshop experience, is that if it's above, it would do its value, but if it's below, it would be, it won't affect anything above it. So that's a bit of a mind-boggling thing that is happening here for me. Yeah, we will see. I mean, if we understand the graph here, maybe if we simplify it a bit, make it go from small to big, and change now to add, it's adding every value from 0.1. So if you work on a calculator, you were to have our size value of 2, and we plus it by 0.1, then 0.2, then 0.3, it will increase. Makes sense. Okay. And if it was 2 and we multiply it by 0.1, it will decrease. So that is what is happening. The relation between all of those, and as it's coming here and we're adding the values, it will give us this result. But if we would have something like this and we would multiply, actually, let's have the same value we had before. And now we see that it's multiplying those values. That is why it's not coming out super big in the beginning. It's still 0, because everything you multiply with 0 is 0. That's the way I'm trying to understand. I could be wrong. I could always be wrong. That's the whole point, is that I'm learning. That's why it's called Let's Learn. Okay, so now I will sit down, maybe for an hour, and then I'll stand up again. For now, sit down. Streaming setup. Mic first. For a second. Good. We're looking good. Amazing. Then we will put the keyboard and the mouse down. Yes. I think we're so used to a lot of content out there that's so like edited and perfectionized. I want to keep all those cuts. Unless it's a break, unless I go on a break, I want to keep everything. There's nothing to fake here. There's nothing to hide here. And learning is a lot of grinding, and that is the only way I could live comfortably, is by like opening myself up as such and be comfortable in saying that I don't know things, and I'm interested in learning them. So I've learned a lot last week. I really like the idea of the stream. Of course, I hope it grows bigger. But the main goal here is learn and make mistakes as I'm learning, and stick to those values, because I have lived my life so far concerned about being perfect, concerned about perfection, that I've stopped myself from learning new things. And I'm someone who thrives on learning new things. So what we will do is right now to learn how to add gravity and color to our sparks through the graph system, or the VFX graph system in Unity. So we will play.
So now let's see how we can add color to this. If you look closely, you'll notice that we have a set color of a light.
Yes, go learning. Thanks, Vixart, for joining.
HDR gradient editor. And the nice thing is that we can create a property, a gradient property, and call it spark gradient. Connect it down here to the spark color of a light. And for example, if you have a few gradients, you can choose one of those gradients.
Okay. Well, we have created the last thing we've done before we have left off on Friday. So let me make this a bit brighter. Is we created from the plus icon here, we have created a gradient. It was starting with G. Gradient right here. And we have made that property expose for the outside, so artists or devs can change that on the go. Okay, and can even mention or summon that value in their code as well, and make like all sorts of things, like if this happens, if the character gets attacked with this weapon, then put that gradient. So if the character gets attacked by a fire weapon, it would it would like use a fiery gradient, and if it's attacked by, I don't know, a blue magic weapon, then it would do the other gradient, and that can all be called by code, and I think that is the point of the graph. For now, that's my understanding. Okay, so we will play with that a little bit. I see that the HDR value is here, so we can even increase the intensity. Yeah, we could definitely do that. Let's play a little bit with the colors, add maybe a blue there, here and there, maybe a bit later. Yeah, we can see it moving here at the end, the color. For now, we're just testing. We're not making anything final. We're not making any final edits. We're learning, and this is part of it. So green is just experimenting with things. We can make one of them has less intensity and the other one have more intensity. So for example, what we could do is make the rest of the colors less intense and have the gradient between them to show such a value change. And we can see that this is way too intense, that when it changes to the next color, it goes way too insane. And if we decrease it, we have this TV test, like this broadcast test colors, rainbow colors. Okay. For now, that's fine. We're gonna add a new value here, so it's showed up. So it could show up very quickly in the beginning. Just playing around for now. We will add that as a new gradient. The only thing I'm worried about is that those gradients don't really have names. So I wonder how the coders can actually reference them in their code. Could be something that I'm completely mistaken about, of course. Who knows? Okay, let's continue.
But I'm still going to show you how to create a very nice gradient. Let me just do a Control Z here. Let's click the first key up here, which is for the alpha. Also delete the second one. Push the first one a little bit around here. And now for the first color.
Yeah, okay, so I kind of like the effect Gabriel is working on. I will check if we have made a speed here, a speed value. So the sparks rate should determine how many sparks there are. And it should be changed as we change the number. Yeah, there are much more sparks right now. I think that number is way too huge. So we'll keep it to something like 5. I feel like it could use some more speed. Now, where could we expose the speed? Where could we play with the speed here? Because it's a little different than what we are used to before. Set lifetime random. Set velocity random per component. Is that the one? Let's see if we could play with the velocity here to make different things. It's going in different directions. I like that, but what happens if it's Yeah, so the more you increase it, the more it gains speed, or is it that some of them are fat? It's more like it's increasing the radius, like the degree of the angle. So if it's a 90, we can see the effect playing on 90 degree almost. Okay. And if we have it on minus 90, it will go on the other direction. But that is definitely important to know. And now we have it going in. That's why the minus value. Let me try to understand that a bit better. So what we have is almost like a cone right now. We have values that are going, it's going between 0.2 and minus 0.2. Such. Yeah. Yeah, so it's making that effect. And when we had it on 90, it was doing like only the 90 degrees, either in the minus or in the plus. Okay, good to know. We will continue regardless and say, well, we'll see that 6/2 in the x-axis. What would happen if it was a 10? How would that be any different? What happens if it's 100 even? Well, I think what is happening is we're increasing the speed right now. So if that was to be a 10 and a 20, we can see that they are going faster, or maybe just reaching wider. I don't think that's a faster sparks here. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that this is going faster. Because if we have to change, if we were to change the spark lifetime to 30 value, we'll see them going longer, correct? Much longer. It's so long that we don't even see them, I think. But if this was to be a 1, they will have to go shorter. They're not even exceeding that point. So what I think we've done with the velocity here is that we allowed them to go further in the x, but now we have to set the spark lifetime accordingly to see maybe even a 0.5 value. And now we have to bring that down a notch to a 15, maybe 715. And now we see that the sparks are stopping quite fast, or quite short. What I will do is make this a bit slower. So we'll go with 4 and 7. And now we will allow them to live a bit longer, and this way we will see sparks such. Okay, I kind of would like them to go in the y-axis, and I wonder how that would look like. Yeah, as I thought before. This looks like a gunshot. Of course, the colors are not matching, but this is a lot like an AK-47 shooting in the air kind of thing. Okay, I still feel like this is way too fast, so we have to reduce it. Or is it that the 90 now affected all of this, right? So if it's around let's say 2 and minus 2, now we're getting that sparks effect again. And I feel it could use a bit more love on that axis, like a bit more. And 9.9 here. Let's see. Okay. How does this look like? I feel like it could use some speed here. Well, I'm sure there should be a speed node somewhere, but I'm missing it. Could be worth a Google search. Shader graph, color mapping, UV mode, use soft particle, blend mode, additive, use alpha clipping. Yes, we've done that. The last thing I remember noting on the last stream was I love how the alpha clipping is working well with with those values that we created, because it doesn't go. Oh wait, actually, it was working well with the gradient, because it wasn't going. The opacity of it all was not. I can show you a bit more. Maybe we add one here and we add it to 0. See how it's disappearing aggressively? Because if we put the alpha clipping less, you will see that value going like that. And now we could definitely see what's going wrong in our effect, why it's not showing us a lot of things that we wanted to show. That's because the size of the sparks is way too big. We'll turn the clipping back on. We will take that down to 2, even to 1.5. Well, that will affect immediately the B as well. And now we will turn the alpha clipping back off and see how is that working with everything. I feel like there's way too many particles, so that will go to 30. And I feel like what else is there to do? The 1 I think could be down to 2, or the 0.3 could go down to 1. And this will squish them even more, which is something we're looking forward to. Maybe to 0.5, 6, 8. We'll turn on alpha clipping because I like it. And I will also allow more particles to work with us. And we'll also, I see we're just getting used to it now. I feel like it could use a bit more lifetime. So this will be 1.5. Yeah, this could work. I feel like I could add more speed. And with more speed, the wider the angle it will be. So let's keep it as it is now. Maybe bring that angle a bit down here. So it looks like there's also one more thing. I would like it to start fast and slow down, but we will see how that would work.
And if you think about it, gravity is something that needs to be continuously updated, right? So if you go to the update particle and press spacebar, we can.
So now we will go into the update particle. Update particle is something that needs to be constantly updating. So far, that's how Gabriel explains it. And we'll see how that will work with everything else.
For gravity, you can actually test for force, and as you can see, we will have a few forces. I recommend that you stop and try them, just to test them out. But the one we want is gravity itself. So yeah, I'm going to select gravity and...
Okay, so here, where we could add gravity, it's as simple as that. And here we have gravity, just like we did in the particle system effect that we've worked on before. It has the value of Earth gravity. That's really cool. And we can see that the minus affects the orientation. So here we have 9.81 that is going upwards, and minus 9.81 that goes downwards. And the cool thing is, what I see that didn't see before is that you can manipulate the axes, and you can see now it's doing something quite cool. It's going like sideways, such. That's super duper cool. I like it. I'm just getting a message. Just let me check my messages. Everything all right here? Everything break? All right. So we can continue with our learning. Okay, so what we have learned is that if we play with those values, it's actually quite cool. It could create effects that could do a curve, and that is just by gravity. We're not manipulating any velocity. I kind of dig that system way better now. just simply because of the... So let's try 20 here and 20 there. That should keep the force in the middle, right? Ah, wait. E is there. The X is... Yeah, okay, that's nice, y'all. That's really cool. So this is basically changing the speed now for us. At least that's how I get it. But it's through gravity, which I really dig a lot. I can see that maybe there are systems that, like game objects that could affect the gravity. Say for example, a spheric game object or of some sort that could take the gravity to 100 and then to a 0 while you click on something or while you interact with it. So your effects could go void, like a black hole that could just take all your effects away in the game. So there are a lot of cool mechanics here that you could play with. I'll keep this to 0, keep it simple for now. And let's see, keep watching and see what else we could do with this.
The force being applied is in the y-axis because it's the vertical axis.
Okay, so what I have learned is that when you press space outside, you could add nodes. We've covered that before. When you press space inside of a container, such as update particle, you'll get different things to add. So here outside, we can add something called random number, which is really cool. And here, if we copy that same value and we add a minimum value here of minus 5, for example, now it should, when we hook it up here, should randomize. But what I don't get is how would it... Wait. Okay, we expand this. Here you go. Now you have access to the 3 vectors here. And you would assign that only to the X. And this way, or to the Y, sorry. And this way it should randomize the gravity values. If it goes to minus 2, or even plus 1, we'll have some particles going upwards, as you see here. It's really cool. I feel like we need to change the size again. Maybe to 1. I like the 2, the 3 value here. I feel like we need to change the multiply vector. I feel like it's doing a lot of damage, and it's helping. Yeah, this looks nice. I'm keeping this for now, but I think we could change it later. But I'm keeping it for now to know the lifetime of those objects. And it's going beyond, right? Yeah, okay. That makes sense. What happens if this was a 10? We can see them now. Going down below and up with the same value, around the same value. Okay, yeah, we definitely need that to be in the minus. And now we see some of them are going like in a straight line, which is what this gravity is affecting. I feel like we can add another random number here. And this one we will put in the speed axis. I don't want to play with that yet. I feel like there is a way to manipulate this. I don't want to play with it because we could be spinning the sparks or doing other things with it later. So I don't want to access that yet, or I don't want to play with it yet. So let's see.
In the phase particle, which is where it's supposed to be. Next, we are going to adjust the start position and see how local and world space work in VFX graph. And now,
so we just have finished the gravity and color video, and now we will jump to the VFX graph sparks, set position and world, and local space. And then we have collision and trigger events. That could be very cool. Collision and trigger events. That could be something very entertaining to do. Gonna drink some coffee. And then we will jump into it one by one until we finish the course. Hopefully we could finish it today, because as I mentioned in the beginning, we have a schedule now. Calendar. Just to remind you all with it, how it's going to be in the next days. No, thank you. Why are you pushing the Outlook thing on me, Windows? Please. I don't want to show my everything now. Oh my god. It's very pushy, this Outlook. And now everything I've added is just gone, right? Oh wow, thank you so much. That's really awesome. What the hell? It's all gone, y'all. Okay. We'll pause the recording. We'll do just streaming right now. Good. Here we go. So let's continue with set position and world and local space. Okay. Let's play. Okay. So we will play now with the set position. And set position is not in the output particle quad, it's not in the update particle, and it's not in the spawn. It's in the initialize particle. When we click here, we click space and we say set position. Now we have set position, and just referencing with the course where we are, and there should be shape here. Yeah. And now we have the similar option from the particle system with line. Line is a new thing, I think, with box, cone, torus, circle, and sphere. We'll continue. I guess there's a hemisphere as well. Actually, there's much more, but we just have to click on set position or type set position, and then check all those. Set position mesh, which we had before, set position depth, set position depth. I don't understand yet. I guess that's something we have to go more into. By speed, okay. Over lifetime, shape line. We looked at the shape stuff. Skinned mesh, still don't know what that is. Random uniform, from map index. Also don't know what that is. Shape arc cone. That's a cone that has an arc. So I guess a cone with an arc like that. We can try that later. We have random from curve. Interesting. That means you could manipulate it with a curve where it will be spawned. Set position from map. Random. Also don't know. Is it like a normal map or like a bitmap of some kind? Could also be. Sequential line and shape arc torus. Another arc thing. Let's see what that is about. Sequential circle. Also sequential. The word sequential here is interesting. I might start noting down some stuff actually. Remember them. What is sequential? What to do with that? So we have set position, and we want to try the arc cone, right? And the sequential stuff, sequential, and the map from map. What does that mean? Look it up. From map. Okay, and what else is there? Set position random per component. Interesting. Set position from map sample 2D LOD. Set position from map sample 3D LOD. So many things in this engine. Set position from map index relative. Set position subsequential as well, again 3-dimensional. Set position from map and set position. Set old position. Set target position. Set old position by speed. Set old position over life. Wow, so many things. Set target position by speed. Wow. Okay. So many things, and we can't go over each and every one of them. Just wondering how it would compare to what we had before with the set position shape. What is an arc cone, for example? How does that look like? Now we will enable the stuff, the gizmos. Okay, we see nothing. That means it will work a bit differently, and we will watch that.
If you don't see the gizmo of the sphere, make sure you have the VFX graph selected in the scene, and also select the set position block.
Gabriel had explained to us how to do it. Here it is. Okay. Now I do wonder if the arc here means this type of manipulation here. And is there anything else but arc? Or can you do that with set position? Set position like shape without arc? Got set position shape arc cone. Okay, so it is quite. Oh, wait a second. There should be a sphere without anything, right? Sphere. It's only arc sphere, and it has the same controls. Okay, that's kind of cool. It's a bit more advanced than we had before. Amazing. Cool. So I will take the arc cone a bit away. I guess right click and delete. This is how it works. What else is there? We will continue after a short bathroom break. We'll be right back. Okay, so we learned so far that if you click on the VFX graph Sparks, which is the one that is hooked to the graph system, we will be able to see and interact with the gizmo of the set position. And you also have to click on the set position for it to show, which could make the workflow actually quite easier. And we see the bigger we make the sphere, the bigger of a starting position they have. The smaller it is. Okay, so we will continue watching.
Okay, and as you can see, you can shrink it down here in view, or you can open this arc sphere to enter more precise values. Like,
oh no, my keyboard needs a charge. Okay, video, and let's keep going.
0.1, for example.
Okay, so what we learned so far is gonna press F here. We won't get much really from the shape now, but we're learning how to do it and where to put it and how to do it and to enable it, how to disable it, what type of emissions you could choose. You can choose per volume. That means that they will spawn inside. You can choose per thickness, absolute thickness, relative. We will check those out later. For now, it doesn't really matter which position we have because we have manipulated the velocity, and that will make them go this direction no matter what we do with the shape. Of course, with some exceptions. But generally speaking, yes. Okay, so now we notice if we spin that thing, it won't react to the... It won't do really... it will just go with it, keeps its velocity, does nothing else. Control Z, the changes we made, we go back here, and then we change this. If you see here, there's a local. And if we double click on that, it should change it. Just one click on that. Don't double click. It should change to world. And that is very similar to simulation space that we played with before, as you can see. Yes, so that's cool. We know so far. We played with that before. We know how to do it now. That's cool. We'll keep watching.
Because they keep
Just learn. When you zoom in, by every value here, there's an L. And L reflects, of course, local or world. Okay, so that we know so far. And you could see it repeating a lot here and here and here and here. And so the one thing we could do is if we take that, if we disable those, they will disable and we will be able to see the changes in real time, which could be helpful to understand what each of them does or do. One thing more is if we disable the set position arc sphere, it will spawn now in the world, related to the world. Because if we change, when we change that, we changed relation between this and its parent. The parent decide now where it should be, right? Because it is local. However, if we change that to world without enabling the set position, it will go into the 0, 0, 0 of that world. We could fix this if you don't want a sphere. If you don't have a sphere set position, we could add a set position here. Set just a normal set position, and then we could just change the world value to local value, and now it should go back here. Both together, of course, work, because in that sense, we didn't change much, but we could, since it's on the override here, I think whatever this value is will determine where it should be from the local, which could be an on top mechanism to what you want to add in your effect. But I think it's overriding also the. It's overriding everything. Like if we enable it now, you can see that it's even disabling the shape set position, which we could actually make work together. But now it's so because it's multiplying per 0, and everything you multiply with 0 will go 0, so it's spawning in the 0, 0, 0 of the world. So maybe we can add the values, and this will give us an accurate way to manipulate the position of the particle. Maybe it could be a nice. So see, because we reviewed what we were doing last week, now I'm able to know what this multiply and add mean. It's good to review things what you just learned, because then and only then you will start to understand. Okay, but this is still way above, so there's something still wrong here, and that is because when you add a 0 to the shape, it should still stay, right? Blend is the more. Well, no matter what we do now, it won't change, right? Yeah. Only when we change the blend value, it will change. And now it's blending so much that this has no effect anymore. That's very interesting. Okay, well, maybe because the set position is not only setting the position, but it's also setting the type of shape it's shaping into. And the add is still not giving us a proper value. And yeah, if that's not working, we'll just delete it. It's important to learn just at least what the L here means and what and how to change the simulation to world simulation. And I'll bring the sphere a bit down so we have a better result. Let's keep watching. Okay, so what we will do now is to play with the velocity values and give them, because you've seen us now like going here and changing the values again. Like here, for example, we changed a lot of those values, but we don't need to do that outside. We don't need to go back to the graph. So a smart way to do it is to add a vector 3, sorry, because it has 3 numbers. We'll call that vector 3 sparks velocity. Gonna do it in the same naming convention as before. I was just gonna check on the velocity spelling. I might be spelling things wrong here. So let's check that. Okay. Velocity, yeah, it's correct. Good, good. Spelling is correct. Nice. We will drop down the values here and copy them over. So, and I will continue watching now just to note down some of the steps I have to do. So we do them quite a bit faster. So let's see what we have to do, and we will just do them now. I will go one by one. So in order for a vector 3 property like that to work with the velocity, we have to expand the values. So what we will do is drop down this here. This will probably be hooked with the multiply value of the spark's velocity. If you're wondering what that means, same here. We have a float, or we have a property that is, it's a float, and its value is being connected to a multiply, and as well as it's also connected to a b value, as you can see. So the multiply does not matter where it connects, in the a or in the b, it's just giving that randomization. So what we will do now, take the spark's velocity, put it here. Then we'll go to the drop-down menu here again, and we will take each and every one of those values that we should actually probably copy from here. So the x we have here on 5, the 1 we have here on y, the -9 we have here on exactly there. Okay, so I'll just expand this over so we see what we're doing a bit better. And now each one has to go into a multiply value, and we will go with something 0.3, and we'll set a bit higher, and we'll that way. Wait a second. Yeah, exactly. So the 5 here is referencing the 5 in there. Now we will put another multiply value or node, and this one will be 0.2, and we'll connect each one of them. X, Y, let's put it a bit more up. Actually, let's delete that connection and make them connect here. Y, X, then down. Both will work, but I would like it to also be connected here so we can control both values. And now the Z, whatever it is, Gabriel follows a certain method called, he basically connects it to a 1 minus node, which takes every minus value and outputs it into a positive value. This is important because if we were to connect the Z here to a minus, if we would have multiplied, it wouldn't have worked. So we would just basically change the negative value to a positive one. This should make it work. Okay, that's all what we've done so far. And now people who are changing those values see that it's exposed, and they could actually change the values as much as they want. So here in the minus, for example, if we put it at 20, we can see that it's working for us. It's too big, of course, but it's creating that angle that we were talking about before. And now in the x-axis, if we decide to go with 15, it will go faster. See? It's amazing. Cool. Shape is infecting this a bit. Affecting it, not infecting it, but affecting it. I'll just go with a smaller sphere. We might add variance to all of this later, so that's why I'm keeping the sphere, following the course to learn the tools, the basics, and then we can create, if we want to create something on our own. Good. Let's continue watching and try to learn and absorb like a sponge as much as we can now. analyze it, review it, and then we could continue into maybe making our own thing. Okay, let's pause the recording, and I'll see you after I've watched and note down some stuff. So far, we learned that we should save our stuff. So I'll just press save, and we moved on to the next to the next to the next video, where we will learn about collision and event triggering, which could be helpful for different effects at the same time. That's my theory for now. We will check the video out. I'll note down some stuff, and I'll be right back at ya. So let's check it out. Pause the recording. So we learned about the collision part and where to spawn it. And if you would think about it a little bit, it should spawn in the update particle. So what I will do now is take those values, take them a bit down, separate them from each other a little bit, so we have a better overview, so to speak. Put this down. Okay, good. And now we will add, guess what, collision, just like we did before. We will not go with, there are more options than before. That's what we know. We can go collide with a cone, collide with the AA box, with plane, sphere, depth buffer, signed distance field, whatever fits better for the game or project you're working on. As we basically add the box, we will see a box collider here that spawned in the world. We will change that to local, and now it should spawn here. Okay, so in order for this to work, we need to manipulate its axes, basically, the center, the size. So we will start working on that, say 30, say keep it 1 basically at 25 as well, or 30. Go with 30 here. The position should be a bit lower, basically here. -2. That will be almost on the ground or perfectly on the ground. Let's see, this one, we'll just put it after the particle head. Yeah, and now we can see them bouncing already, but they're sliding. And the reason they're sliding is because of the bounce value. If this was to be a 0.5, we could see them now going like fish, basically. Or when you have the stone thrown at the river, you would have something like that. Well, that's too much. We'll have 2 maybe. We'll have a bit of a friction, so they slow a little down. Yeah, that's better. And then we will have that's a bit too much friction, actually. 3 should do the job for now. Let's go with 4. Of course, we could always randomize those values, always, all the time, doesn't matter. The lifetime loss, if it's at 1, like before, once they collide, they die. And if you want to manipulate this a little bit so the effect makes sense for you, do that. We will play with the velocity again. This is too fast. We will keep it at 10. And I feel like with the renderer here, we went too aggressive with the alpha threshold. Like, as you can see, we can't see anything anymore. So we'll put that back here. As for the gradient of a lifetime, is it... Okay, so what we will do is make them disappear after a while. What else is there to do? The size of a lifetime, same story. Make it overshoot earlier. Make it go up straight and then down 0. I'm not sure if you guys can see this, right? Just gonna put it here then. Bigger, keep it here then. It's fine. Yeah, so we manipulated the graph here a little bit. Make it a bit smaller. It's a bit too big, actually. We'll make it fall like a ball. And then it should overshoot in the beginning. Touch. Yeah, that's not doing us a favor, really. There's something wrong with texture stretch, spark lifetime, spark rate. What did we do? Is it the size here? The 1 should work better, or 1.5 should work better. Here we have texture stretch. That's too much of a stretch. So we'll go with 1. Just the 1. And we'll go back to our update particle, check the collision. Is it colliding with the floor? Or is it... So if it was minus 1.7, we'll go down. 8. Yeah, that works. Actually, 1 goes, okay, 0 and minus 1. Okay, now we see it a bit better. We have to tweak this until it works for us. So let's try minus 1.5. I know you guys can't see it, but I'm playing with the values here. Just gonna expand it. I mean, let's keep it on full screen now, because just like those numbers are so small that are barely visible. Oh my god! Probably gonna change to standing desk now. So my blood flow is working. Okay, we'll unplug the keyboard, plug it right back again later, because it's a wireless keyboard anyway. I don't know why you have to plug it in other than charging. So we'll put that thing up here. Now more to us. Standing desk engaged, right? So what do we have in here? Yeah, let's try to play around with the bounce. What would happen if it was on 1? Yeah, it's jumping up quite fast. I feel like the gravity we could play a little more with. So give me like minus 20. So some of them just does it a bit before others. Minus 1 is too extreme, so minus 5. So it's going more down. The bouncing now is doing some crazy stuff. What if this was on 0? What would they do? They would keep bouncing, baby, until the end of their lifetime. That is not good, because a gravity has some values that make them have some friction, or depending on the surface, of course, they're interacting with. So 0.5 is giving them a nice value. 0.5 again. This is 2 less. 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this is nice. This has to go a bit down. Minus 2. Now we have a better value. Bouncing is still going nuts, and we need a bigger value here, so they're gone later. Yeah, this is too much bouncing. It's good to just visualize it. What if the friction was on 1? They will just stop there and keep... Okay, that's not good. 3, 2, 4, 5. That's good. What if the bouncing was on 4? Yeah, I feel like there's something that is not quite right. Friction now is too big. Wait, 2, 3, 4. Now it's a stream of bouncing. 2. Yeah, that's more like it. We should lose them after a while. Okay, that's good. I don't like the color, so we will get rid of it. I will make a new one, and it will be quite hot in the beginning, and then it will follow with a nice yellow, orange of some sort. Red is too bright or too saturated. We'll keep it like a nicer value, give it more intensity, because it should be intense in the beginning. Maybe up to yellow. Closer to red maybe, and here we have lighter yellow here. Maybe more saturated, just a little tiny bit. Yeah, that's quite nice. Yeah, and now they will end up being hot and disappearing. Maybe something there. Here. Yeah. See what happens if this happens to them quite early. I feel like the color doesn't make sense in the beginning, so we will switch that to brighter yellow. And this will be a more orangey. It will dissipate into red. Yes. Okay. That's fair. Let's keep it that way for now. Velocity could use some more oomph. This effect is actually better than the sparks we made before. There's something about it that's more logical. 70. Yeah, I quite like it, really. I feel like the gravity could use more love. Like, some of them seriously need to go down earlier. Friction. And now they're going backwards. How cool is that? Like ants. Gonna make them go a little bit. Not too much bouncing. I don't like it too much. And you know what? We'll put them a bit backwards. A bit forward, sorry. And here, this is happening due to the bounce amount. So the lesser of bouncing happening, the lesser of this thing at the end is happening, right? Or is it that the more, the higher they get? Okay, so basically 0.2, or maybe even higher. Like, I feel that, okay, the friction is deciding the sliding action now. Okay, so a little bit of it is cool, a lot of it is not cool, and let's make them disappear after life. There's some points of impact. Okay. So let's keep learning. Or what else do I have on my notebook? We covered bounce plus friction. We covered lifetime loss. We did that. We did add and manipulated the gravity. So far we did those points. I will pause now and continue learning, and then we can keep going. So now we'll go into triggers. So you could have like it's you can have some events happening as the particles are either colliding. So for example, if it's rain, you have the particles going down, hitting the ground, and then you would have this, this effect. I don't know what it's called, like water drop effect. So you would have that timed or triggered once the particle had hit the ground. So we could do that. And now we will see how the triggers are triggered. So what you do is in the update particle, you press space, and then you look for something, or anything trigger related. Trigger. Okay, not here, maybe here. Trigger. We have to check that again. Just give me a moment. Check it. Yeah, it should be in the update particle. Well, yeah, exactly. Now we hit it. Trigger event always. Trigger event on die, or trigger event rate over time. And that is what we have at the moment. So what we will do is trigger event on die. So once they die, the particles, they should. For now, there's a count level here. I will read just a little bit about it just to understand it. Sets the number of particles spawned via a GPU event when this block is triggered. Okay, so we see here a green circle that has IFT in it, which I guess goes for event. We will take it up here and give it a context. GPU event. Okay. So now we're creating those building blocks, as you can see here. We're slowly getting into a broader image. So we're not only stuck with this, but we're creating our own event. The event can connect, of course, to a spawn. it to a spawn thingy. Wait, let's just initialize. Let's just take whatever it suggests to us. Initialize particle, that was this one. So it's making its own system. And I've learned that you don't really have to create this on your own for it to work. You could just go with a simple one that creates everything for you. So we'll go with simple. Okay, we'll just create it here. It's called simple particle system. Or yeah, is it called simple heads and spark? I'm not sure if it says here. If it says it simple, yeah, heads and sparks. That is right there. You can see it right here. So it should start once that event had started. Here it is. We can see it on the left. See it right there. These. It should start when the event happens, right? We can't connect it for some. Maybe we delete that GPU event. We can connect the event itself into the start here. Okay, let me check how he did it. Maybe the Unity version had changed a little bit. Let's see. Let's see. Yes. Okay.
Single burst, for example, and then we could use the initialize particle and so on. But there is a simple way. Let's take this, and with spacebar, let's search for simple, and we get a few options. We want to start with the simple adds and sparks, and as you can see, it's beautiful. Look at this. You can drag it to more or less around here.
Okay, so when we created simple and heads, we didn't need this part, the left one. So we will delete it. We will take that GPU event that was with the spark itself and connect it to our event that we created. It's quite small to see, but what we did is we took, okay, I'm just gonna give us more space here. We took the event that we created, trigger event on die, emit once, and we took the event that was already created from that simple heads and spark. We connected it to the GPU event of that, and now we see that we have particles here going on. However, we need to tweak it a little bit, so it plays with us nicely, and now we will see how that is done. So I will pause and continue learning. This is quite exciting stuff, you guys. So I will pause the recording and we'll learn, and then we'll come back. So basically our main goal is for that to spawn when they hit the ground and not what they're doing right now. So we will go through that, check it out. I'll note down some stuff so we both are learning, and we can go through it step by step. Okay, see you later. Okay, so what is interesting is that these particles, the blue ones, are able to inherit our source position. They're able to inherit our source velocity and other mechanics as well. They can inherit that. That's cool, because if you don't want to create something from scratch, you have those mechanics to play with and even manipulate over and over. So now I will keep watching again. See you in a bit. Okay, so way too many things. We will start step by step now and follow along later. So what we will do eventually is change a lot of the blue particle here that we added, which is the trailing sparks. We will make them only emit once the particle had hit the ground, and that's it. So what we will also do is get rid of the bouncing. So we will have the particle die right at the end, like right at the collision. We will make them die so our sparks are emitting. But there are a couple of things that we need to get rid of, such as inherit source position. We don't need that, or we do. Let's keep the inherit source position right for now. Inherit source velocity. You see, without it, it will spawn like right there, and the reason it's spawning right there is because it's still on world position, and we have to still change that. So we'll just get rid of this. At one point we will not see any We will not see any particles because we're deleting so much, but we'll fix that. So just stay with me. We didn't need the add position as well. We need them just to stay where they are. When they die, they need to stay where they are. And like does this bling, you know, when you see sparks in real life and they hit the ground, you can see them still, and then they disappear. And this is the effect we're looking for right now. So turbulence we will also not need. We will just keep it quite simple. We deleted the add, we deleted the turbulence, we deleted the... now we need to delete the set scale X. We don't need that. We don't need set scale Y by speed, which is something we should have done with our particles, actually. Maybe we can set that right now. Set scale Y by speed. This sounds cool. Let's remove set scale. Did it stop now? Maybe here. Is it overriding everything? It should add, maybe. Okay. It's getting way too small. Damn. Maybe something for later though. Let's keep this straight. Let's keep this straight and this straight as well. And now this here, the X, right? Wait a second. Does this? What is the value? Okay, I'm not gonna mess with this now. Maybe later. So we'll Ctrl Z everything. Let's go back to the main goal and not get shifted to the other thing. Set size. Yes. Okay. So let's stay here now. Let's not get shifted or shift our focus. Okay. So we deleted the add to the position, the turbulence, the set scale Y and X, and now we will start doing some cool things. First of all, we need to give it a texture, and our texture here, that's the shader, sparkle texture. We need quite the default one. I need to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Stomach is hurting. Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, so I forgot to unpause the recording button, and this is for the YouTube viewers right now. What we've done is, and that's a review to you and to me as well. I will go Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. And so we stopped right here as we were choosing the texture. We have chosen a different texture. It was this one. And what I've done is I taken the orient along velocity, which is just like the orientation of where that thing should render or how it should show it. And since we don't have any velocity, it was not showing. So what we wanted to do is to keep it to the camera position, relative to the camera position. Now we start seeing them appearing as the particles are dying. I don't know that yet, but what we could do is we go up to the position where the positions are, where the position information are, and we could actually enable or disable the local and change it to world, and this will allow it to show right on the location where they die, which is huge. And now what we want is to kill them immediately once they have hit the ground. And the way we could do that is in the updates of the collision, in the update particles, in the collide with the AA box, we have lifetime loss. And we've seen before, if it's on 1, they will be right killed as they interact with the ground. And that is basically the effect we want. Now, the problem is we don't really see because the thing is going way too fast. So if we slow it down and take that thing here, which is called, drum rolls please, it is called displays control for the game object currently attached. Okay, so it's display control. We take the play rate down to 20 and now we don't see anything anymore, which is weird. Why is that happening? Once we've changed the play speed, it had changed a lot of stuff with it too. And that could be... Wait, let me get... I got that here. I will look at this. Does it have a little bit of time? Okay, just one more thing. Let me just do that. Yeah. No worries. It's just work-related stuff. I'll be right back. Good. now I'm right back. Good. So we slow that thing a little down, and now we don't see it anymore the moment it goes below 50. It's a little bit of a weird effect here, but we will keep going until we understand why this is happening. Now we see that the particles are dying as of impact, and these particles are spawning. And now we'll continue and see what else we could do to make this more polished. And in order to do that, I need to watch more of the video to get more of my skills straight. Okay, so we have changed world. We've done that. Lifetime bling. Okay, so what we will do is we've changed orientation, or we changed the position from local to world, and that's why we see them on the ground. We have something I wrote down here, lifetime, and we need them to blink. Bling, bling, bling. Okay, so lifetime of set lifetime random here. If this was to be a lower value of 0.1 and 0.3, we will see that nice effect of them just blinging. Bling, 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 bling. As you can see here, maybe, just maybe, we can give them a more of a lifetime, such as 2.5 and 4.8. And now we can see them blinking or blinging for a bit longer, which is cool. I wonder if this would help our ratio here. No, it doesn't. Okay, so now it's a bit like rain. I really like that. That you could spawn things, right? I like this, that how smart the graph is. I really enjoy that it could control each particle on its own. It could trigger events from that. That was something I think I was missing with the particle system. I could be wrong. You might be still able to do that in there, but I like how you could put it in a graph system where it's visually well planned. Maybe you have comments here, comments there. We'll have to keep looking into the visual effect graph here to understand more things. Okay, so it's definitely is going way too fast now. It's barely visible as is, so we'll go with something that is a bit more, and that looks a bit better. I feel like it could go even for a second, because some particles in real life, they last, or some sparks in real life, they last way more than the others. So I'll go with something between 0.3 and 2. That's way too long. So between 0.3 and 1 is kind of hitting the right spot. I do not like the gradient we're using here, so I will use the same gradient that is a property for now. A property, yes, it's called a property. It's a weird name, but it is called a property. We'll increase that intensity up to 4 now and see how would that work. Kinda working, kinda not working. We'll remove this, we'll save that gradient, right? We'll make a new one, and then we will go here and add the same gradient. However, we'll shift all the colors now to a darker red. Here we go. And dark. It should go dark and dark as it goes away. Does that look realistic? I don't think so. Okay, something is not working for us. I feel like here we're not doing it any favors by, it should not go that far. Maybe it should stay sparkly and still stay on yellowish color. How would that look once it hits? It's going a bit too red at the end, so we'll get rid of that. Now we will give it a value that is more colorful, maybe here, more yellow, and then it would dissipate into that orange. And that orange here, we need to get rid of it because it's causing, or maybe we just make it longer. Like, actually, let's copy the same color, and now that color just stays into that, it just stays in that intensity, which will reduce now to 2. and it will keep that color until the end. It's not working. Wait. Again, 2 intensity, and it will go more into the red. Here, I feel like we need 3 of intensity because it's way too white. Yeah, we're getting something, 2.5, and it should go from the yellow to the orange to the red, and then like eventually get a lower intensity of 7, or maybe 1.6 or 5. That's a cool intensity. We will copy that color. Copy, and now we will start from that color. This way it's not confusing for our eyes to follow along. So we'll keep that level until the end. I feel like here we have definitely gone to red, so to speak, and we could use a bit more intensity, even a bit more, just to reflect the idea that this is a spark. I like what we're seeing. Let's see what else we could do. Well, we played with the lifetime loss. We played with the lifetime of each particle so we can make them blink even more. So far, so good. They look like sparks. Okay, so what we will do now, we will add more stuff to polish this. I'll go back into watching the tutorial. We'll pause the recording, and then we'll be right back. I'll be noting down some stuff, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, are you all ready for some logic? And that is the beauty of the VFX graph in Unity, that you could always add some logic to it. The problem we currently not seeing is, if we go to the gravity here, and we play with the gravity and say, please gravity, give us a less amount of yourself. I'm just gonna check where the gravity is. Got lost track here. Please gravity, give us 0.9 here again. What you will see is once the particle die, it will die and it will show the effect, which is something we don't want it to do. So we need here to add some logic to the particle. We need to tell it, hey, this is the depth value. It could be an X or Y or Z or 1 or 2 or whatever. And we need to tell it, this is dead only, and here's the if else. Only if this value is true, and this value is true and is only true when it collides. So we will see how we are going to make this happen now. One way to make it happen is make a value of gravity where we could still see some things falling to... yeah, so we will avoid that right there. We want to avoid them emitting in the air. One way to do this is we go down to the collide with a box. The value we need to value the most is lifetime loss. The lifetime loss should and must be our only true value here. So what we will do is add some nodes to make this work together. One of the nodes that we need to add is called age over lifetime. Age over lifetime goes from 0 to 1. Consider it like a percentage. You have 0, 0.1, 0.2 until it dies, which is 1. Okay, so that is age over lifetime. It's a value that goes from 0 to 1. Now, we will add some logic to it. First logic we will add is called compare. We've all studied compare in school. It's this thing that says, is it equal to it? Is it not equal to it? Is it less? Is it less or equal? Is it greater? Is it greater or equal? And then we can take that, if it's measuring is it less than 0? Then, or is it less than 1? Then it's not true. Or is it greater than 0? Then it's true. And the 0 and the 1 here is talking about the lifetime. Is talking about when is it born, when is it dead. So we can have effects going when the thing is born. We can have effects going as it's alive. Or we can have effects happen right before they die. We can have effects going when they die. And this is what we want to achieve here. So we want to achieve an effect that happens when they die. So in that sense, it should be less, I think, but I could be wrong here. I'm gonna check it real quick. What does make sense? Is it greater than 1? Well, we'll just go follow it and see how that works. We'll follow the tutorial as it is. We'll connect this to... Wait a second. Let me just review it a little bit so we have a better understanding about it. Let's just go a little back here. Okay, so what we will do is we'll compare the left value to the right value, which is what we're seeing right here. Now, this value could be from 1 to 0. And this is determined by the death. So when it spawns, it's 0. When it ends, it's 1, which means it's dead. That's why we've chosen greater. So if the age over lifetime is greater than 0, that means this will happen. What will happen? We will see right now. We'll branch it. We've worked with branches before. Branches are basically the equivalent of if function. So what we will do is if this was greater than 0, then it's either true or false. And now we will see how we should be connecting this.
And if it's true, and we can connect it to the trigger event on that. But if it's false, if the particle is not there yet, then don't spawn, then do not trigger any.
Okay, let me check that again, understand a little more. I'll be right back.
And you can connect it to the trigger event.
The only thing I was missing, of course, is when a particle is greater than 0, then this should happen. This should not be the case for us, because if the value is greater than 1, then it died, right? This is what we want to the computer to calculate. We want it to say, all right, when should I do it? Once this value had died, and that is 1 for us, because age over lifetime says 0, born, or 0.1 is just the 10% or the 1%, 10%, 0.2 is the 20% of its lifetime, and so on until the 1. And once it's 1, it's dead. And so what we want to say, if this value is greater than 1, then it had died. And then we say, well, now the branch, I'm trying to understand the branch. I'll be right back with you. Okay, I get it. So the way this works is the true and the false here, and that's why we have a bool value here, is because if it's, when you say compare to me to if something is greater or lesser than something. So tell me if it's greater than 1 in that case. I will check with you every 10%. I'll tell you, is it greater? You'll tell me no. Is it greater? You'll tell me no. Is it greater? You'll tell me no. Here until I say, is it greater? And you'll tell me, it's true, it's greater now. And then, and only then, it will switch. So, what we have right now is a compare. I'm asking you, is it greater every microsecond, right? And you'll tell me, no, until it reaches 1. And you tell me, yep, it is. So what should I do? And now it's 0, 0. I'm doing nothing. But if it is true, then this will switch to 1, and it will be hooked to the lifetime loss. And this way, it should only and only be hooked now. Give me a second. Let me watch.
It's not there yet. Then don't spawn. Then do not trigger any.
Okay. Completely wrong. Completely wrong. And that is the connection to time life, to time to lifetime loss, which is something I was also thinking about. Like, why would it be connected to the timeline loss? That is something I have misunderstood. So the way I will do it is, we will go right here. We will understand that one more time. 0 means, between 0 and 1, it means it's alive, it's doing its thing. 1, it means it's dead. 0, it means it's alive and going. And I'm asking you, hey, can you compare this to me? Is it greater than 1? You tell me all the time no. And once it's greater than 1, you tell me, yep, it's greater than 1. Then if it's true, which is the case, it is greater, I will put the value 1 into the count. And this will only be working now once it hit the ground. If it didn't hit the ground, it won't work. And that is exactly what we want. Now we see one thing is that it's barely visible, and that is due to it colliding with the floor here, unfortunately. The way we could fix this is go to the collider itself and tell it, please, can you just go a little bit up? Here we are. We're a little bit more up now. And we can see everything going on in here, which is amazing. Just need to hide that effect. Need to hide the gizmos for now. Hell yeah. And now we have all those sparks doing something when they are dying. And the way we did it, and that's for me to review it and understand it, is that we have added the count only when they have died on the lifetime loss only, and not before they have died on the lifetime loss. And that was the case because they were dying in the air, and now they are only dying on the ground. There's just a little portion that I don't understand is how, if we have given the lifetime of those particles before we have determined the lifetime loss of 1. Why? I don't get that connection. Can someone help me here? How did we favor the lifetime loss over all the other values? And that is one of those values where that they just disappear in the air, like the original lifetime of the particle itself. How is that favored here? All what we did is we compared the value of the age over lifetime, and we said it's greater than 1. That means when they have truly, truly died, and some of them actually die in the air, but I don't know why it's just not doing it anymore now. Or what we did is just add this simple logic, but I don't get why it's working. If you know why it favored now the lifetime loss over the actual lifetime of the particles, drop it in the comments, either here on the stream or on the YouTube video, because I would really be interested why this worked now. Because logically, for me, it should not work. Because it should also still say, well, I guess I'm missing what the age over lifetime does here. How does this work? Okay, it doesn't matter for now. We're not getting any answers, so I'll just keep going, learning. I'll be right back. Not on the stream, on the video, of course. So here, Gabriel actually explains it a little bit, not too much, but I appreciate the explanation. So the way Gabriel is explaining those things is saying the reason it works is because we have set the lifetime loss to 1. Here, I'm guessing. Yeah, okay. But damn it, what am I missing? What am I missing? Because it says age over lifetime. That should be the. It's not like it's referencing the lifetime loss, is it now? What happens if I put that even below that? Yeah, we start seeing, right? I don't know. Something is missing in that logic that I'm not getting. It doesn't matter for now. It's working, it's nice, but what I will do is just test the whole thing. Make it go upwards. Is it hitting? Is it... No, it's not emitting. Good, so it's... No, wait. Okay, no, it is not. It's really working, and it's working nicely. But the reason Gabriel is explaining this, saying the reason this worked is because the lifetime loss was on 1. Well, we just put it on lower than 1, and it still does not work. It still is functioning, which doesn't explain why it's functioning. I would love to understand exactly why it's functioning, but let's just be happy it is functioning. It's just weird. It's just so weird. I don't know. I guess that the lifetime loss is overriding all the lifetimes from before. All the lifetime values we've added before, such as... so let's see. Let's review. So, yeah. Why is this not ending the thing? Is it because it's bigger? Is it because the value here is bigger? This is what we have. Spark lifetime. If that was a 0.5, we will get no effect. If that was 20, we will also only get it when it's dead. I wish I could understand this a bit better. But for now, we have to stick with what we have. So yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, it's fine. It works. I'm happy it works. Not quite satisfied that I don't know why it works. So yeah, it is what it is. We'll keep going. We'll be right back. Interestingly enough, is if you don't understand something, like me, for example, what I don't do and I should do often is play around with the settings. And that's what Gabriel just did, and it could actually really help me a lot to understand. Okay, so we'll put this 10, and now we will see the particles going upwards, right? Good. So what we will do is play around, and that it's a good way to learn is to play around. So nothing will happen if you fail, nothing will break. So we have compare here, and if the condition were to equal to 1, it should not do anything. Okay, and it is not doing anything. So now we're telling it to be equal to 1. If it was equal to 0, also nothing happens. If it was equal to 0.5, also nothing is happening. If it was not equal to 1, here we go. We have particles spawning whenever they are gone. However, so this is the not equal version of it. So now we're saying if as long as it's not equal to 1, you have to unleash or do that event. If it's not equal to 0, the same ordeal. Okay, and if it was less than 1, it will, interestingly enough now, not show any particles when they're hitting the lifetime loss. Right, this one. Okay, so less than 1. Okay, less than 1 of age over lifetime. Age over... I think I need to understand age over lifetime, and that is why I will go into the Unity document. Documentation and say age over lifetime. Lifetime. Let's see if we find it. Age over lifetime visual effect graphs. Okay. So it says, and I will put it right here for all of you to see. Age over lifetime. Menu path, of course. The age over lifetime operator returns the age of a particle relative to its lifetime as value between 0, 0, and 1.0. 0.0 and 1.0. T equals age lifetime. Operators, properties, details. If the system you use this operator in does not include either age or lifetime, Unity uses the default attribute values instead. Age defaults to 0, lifetime defaults to 1. Uh-huh. Okay, I guess. Whoa. I think there was something there, right? The age will be if there was no lifetime used. Oh, hi, Alex. How's it going? How's life? How are you doing? So if the you are Alex, right? I hope I'm not mistaking you with someone else. Hi, anyway. Hi. I'll follow you actually. Give you a follow. Wow, you created your account in 2017. That's so cool. Okay, so we will continue here and try to understand this a little more. So, it said, and if I'm not mistaken, if there was no lifetime used, it will default the age to 0 and the lifetime to 1. And in this case, our lifetime is this one. And it will be 1 once it had died due to the lifetime loss. And right now, when we had said that the condition is less than 1, it's referring to the age. Is it less than 1? And this is why it's referring to the age and it's dissipating over. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Hey, thank you. I'm reading the comments. Thanks for dropping by. It really means a lot to me. Don't worry though, like if you need to go, I have the recording on YouTube later if you want to check it out. But hey, thanks for dropping by. I really appreciate it. I wrote to Gabriel an email yesterday, just told him that you dropped by the stream, and I showed my appreciation to the course and things like that. And so yeah, I just let him know that I'm doing this because I started with my friends only, and now this thing is like growing into its own thing, and I kind of like it, and I'm enjoying the process. So I felt like I need to tell Gabriel. I needed to tell Gabriel, like, hey, I'm actually doing this thing. I hope he's fine with it, of course, but we will see. So the condition here is less, so it's referring to the age, I think. And if I'm wrong, please tell me that I'm wrong. If it's equal to 1, then it should refer to the time, to the lifetime. It is not. Then this destroys my understanding. If it's not equal to 1, it should dissipate in the air. But what we see here is that it's doing both. So basically, here we're allowing both the age and the lifetime together, right? And when we said if it's equal, it was taking all the false. I'll also have to take this in mind. So if this changes to 1, now we should see, when it's equal, we should see some, yep, here we go. Because now we have made the false and the true work together. So no matter which value we have, it will still show it. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Both are emitting. And so this will be 0. Actually, this value here does not really matter that much. Just that the equal now is fucking me up a little bit because about the problem that you had in the other course, I think you can send an email as well as you can finish the course. I'm reading the comments right now. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that could be a good idea, but just for you to know, because I updated the others to the stuff here. So equal is giving us nothing because it's saying, I'm asking it all the time, is it equal? And it's telling me no, it's not equal. And so it's going to the false. So what we learn now is since the lifetime loss is not equal to 1, it won't do it. But if it is equal to 1, and now I'll change it. It's not doing it still. Okay, so I don't know what it's doing. It's interesting. I like the values here are quite interesting. Less or equal should only dissipate in the air because it's only checking the values in that are related to the age and not the lifetime. And now if it's greater than 1, which will go into the lifetime, should give us the lifetime loss or the lifetime loss values. And greater or equal should also do the same effect. Yeah. Okay, so far I get it with my own way. If I'm wrong about any of this, drop it in the comments, of course. Correct me if I'm wrong. And that should be fine too. Okay, good. We have some nice things that are emitting when the trigger event on die is happening, and that's its own effect. Okay, so what I will do is I'll take this and put it a little bit to the right here. Actually, let's keep it on the same lane. Good. And now we will continue learning. So I'll pause the record. All right, now we will add the last touches. So this thing looks a bit cooler. And that is through the output particle quad. We will play a little bit with the renderer, and we will actually not here because we're playing with the last things here. Those particles that we just made spawn when it dies and when it hits the ground only. So what we will do is we'll add some more nodes here or some more parts. First one will be set size. Set size. And we will add that. And now we will make it random. And the way you can make it random is through here. No, not here. The inspector. And it should say components override, add, multiply, blend. No. Slot, source. Nope. Random. Here we go. Per component. Yes, that sounds good. And now we can make them random between 2 values. And now it looks like a huge explosion. And by the way, if you wanted to not cut through the plane like that, like we have it right now, just gotta make it a tight smaller. Gabriel said that you could use something called use soft particle, which explains. When enabled, transparent particles fade out when near the surface of objects, writing into the depth buffer. Example, when intersecting with solid objects. Here we go. That's exactly what we need. And now they should fade out in that fashion. Looks amazing. Looks really cool. However, this looks like a weapon that leaves... these like huge sparks on the ground. It just burns them. Okay. And if we make it faster, it's crazy. It's going nuts right now. It reminds me of Sims. Okay, we're going to go on 100. We will definitely tell it to set size random, and we will make this much smaller. And now we could animate it over lifetime. So we will add size over lifetime over life, and like we did before, we have to multiply it, because otherwise when it goes and it adds it the whole time, it will not work as well as we want it to. Okay, so here we go. We need that value up to 1. We needed to make some nice stuff here. Yes, and then upwards more. Here we go. And so we need that we need to pump it up. It's doing the use soft particle is destroying our effect here. Use alpha clipping, what would that do? And put it a bit down. Yeah, but still it's barely there. Barely visible. No alpha clipping, I guess. Just as a soft thing is softening it, doing a lot of softness that we don't need. Maybe we make it faster. I think it's overshooting a bit too much. Yeah, that's good. We can make it between random 2 values, right? Over lifetime, or by speed, or random constant component. Let's add a seed of 3. This will make some of them spawn and make them. Actually, we need to make them dissipate a bit quicker. Yeah, okay. Size, we can talk about a better one too. A bit smaller than that. I feel like 5 is overshoot. 3, maybe 3. Here we go. That's much better, guys. Cool. We have created something nicely, and let's keep going here. This is looking amazing. This is looking cool. Although it's simple, but it's doing its job. You know what I mean? Like if you look at Elden Ring, they have a really cool sparkles effect. They have really simple and cool sparkles effect, and some like shockwaves that are very slow. I'm playing Elden Ring right now, so this is why I have noticed my eye caught up to that. We'll pause it for now. We'll see you in a bit. So, in order to understand like the power of all of this stuff, we need to test it. We need to put it to the test. Okay. So what we do is we take that VFX Spark loop. We make a prefab out of it. We will put it in the VFX graph and just drag and drop it right there. And now we have it. And I feel like we still need it to be in the graph. And we will spawn it in the scene. We will disable this one. And now I will show you the power of what we've been creating the whole time. And that is, hey guys, look what we can do. When we click on the effect itself, we have exposed all of those elements thanks to the graph, thanks to the visual effect graph. We have now exposed so many things that we can play with, such as, can you just give me a burst here? You know, we'll play that again. Here we go. See, it's just doing a burst. And you know what? Sometimes in the game, some bursts deserve to be, I don't know, going like over the limit, and I don't know, like have like longer lifetime. Just trying things. Let's see. And I don't know, like much more stretching. This is looking weird right now. Okay, maybe bigger? And I don't know, like maybe sparks velocity? Like more? Like 20? And I don't know, like maybe a different color? Huh? Maybe something like that? Just for the lols? Let's play that again. Yeah, maybe we want something like that. We see that we have to update a lot of the parameters now, or the properties, in order to make them work better. Okay, cool. But hey, that's nice. If you don't want it, just turn it back to the stock value and play that again. Here we have our normal sparks that we created. And hey, you know what? You want it to loop? Keep it going. And the cool thing is that you could always change it. You could always make it less. And just like that, you are creating your own flexibility that you need for your game, and that is very important if you have a weapon that you can upgrade, and then, you know, now you add an effect to it that has, I don't know, nuclear vomit poison, and you need to change the color now. You can do it on the go. Just make a variant of that prefab, and boom, 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 you're done. Good. That's very cool. Gives a lot of flexibility. We have finished that chapter. We will go to the next chapter, which is Orb Explosion. That's super cool. And the first lesson is about starting the orb. And then the next video will be about orb texture. Cool, we'll be painting again. Hell yeah. Then we have
Assignment number 1, create a new flare texture. Amazing. Then we have starting the ground area of effect. Hell yeah, we will make a new one. I'm very excited. Starting the explosion sparks. Okay, would love to have your review. You have my review, my friend. And then we have the next one, explosion hemisphere. Then we have a quiz, and then we have explosion noise texture. Then we have master shader graph distortion. Ooh, cool. That we've done before, but maybe we add some more stuff to it. Master shader graph, dissolve and color. Amazing. Thank you for covering all of those things. Explosion flare hit. Explosion shock wave. Explosion ground blur. Explosion ground ground mark. I guess that's when the ground is cracking. Then we have assignment 2, create a different ground mark texture. Well, I'll just use the one we've done probably. We will see. Impact flip book. Amazing. We'll play with some flip books. This will be so much fun. Exporting impact flip book. I really hope we can finish all of this today. Using impact flip book. Then we have impact ring flip book. Then we have orb particles in. Then we have orb improvements. Then we have ground of area effect, improvements, then improvement, variation. Good. That's all amazing, you guys. And I guess the variation will be done quite faster since we're working with the visual graph here. And that is the reason why you use this thing. And for now, I'll leave you with a short break for me to go to the bathroom. And as I'm showing all of this effects that we've done here, the amazing stuff that we've done, I will put the break countdown and we'll be right back with you. See you guys in a bit. Nope, please don't change that. Please only change that. I'll see you guys in a bit. Keep that looping. See you in a bit. Got to pause the video. All right, and we're back. So what we will do is we will create an empty and we will give it a name. That name would be, I wrote down VFX orb, VFX orb. But before we continue, we definitely need a new VFX graph. So what we will do is we will create, because we're creating something. And then we will go to, have you seen, okay, I'm reading the comments right now. Give me a second. Have you seen, okay, that's some, where I had to go away a little bit. And now I'm back and we will create, what is it called? Create to the, let me remember, VFX, it was called visual effects. Here we go, visual effects graph. I will call that one VFX, actually VFX graph. And we will add orb to it. And now we will take it here and we'll make it the parent, otherwise it won't work. I think. Let's check it out. Actually, parent here. Yeah, the other way around. We need the graph to be the child. Okay, that sounds cool and amazing. What we will do now is double click on the save that one that we've done before. Take it and close it. And now we will take the newer one that is called orb. Double click on that and check it, put it on the right side right there and put the thing here. And now we have things to start working with. Thanks for joining the stream, by the way. I really appreciate it. And we will continue learning from here. So far, we did everything that I noted down, and we will continue learning. I'll be right back. People on YouTube, I will be right back. People on stream, you will stay with me. So far, there are a couple of steps that we need to do, guys. So, first of all, the thing won't have velocity. It will be one object. It will be, there will be no randomness or not much of randomness. So there are a couple of things that we need to change. And the best way to start is to start from the top. So as we see here, the spawn. Now we talked that it will be one particle, so it won't be constant. The constant needs to go. We delete it, we click and delete, we add with the space, and now we add the burst. Burst, B-U-R-S-T, single burst, that works for me. Count only one. We'll keep that here, and now we will go down to the initialized particle. We will not need velocity, as I said, and we will see why. Do we need set lifetime random? Do we need it random really? No, we will set it off, and it will be only one constant. And we kind of really need to control those things from the outside in order to animate them. For now, we will add a float value of, and we'll call it lifetime or lifetime. So this will be here. Okay, we'll take it, put it right there, hook it to the lifetime, and keep it right here. And now we'll expand it and give it a value of 3 seconds. Okay, so far we have orb lifetime, we have capacity of 32. Do we really need that? I'm just questioning. Basically capacity just caps it, right? It puts a cap and it won't let it go through it. So it won't be 32 orbs at once, more than 32. Okay, we will add a new element. We will call that element. It's not an element. I bet there's a better way to describe it. We will call it set position. Set position, because that is what we will use instead of velocity. So we see it right here. We'll put it in the Y, let's say 3. So 3 units in the Y. It will be very far away. What we will use is we will use the controls here, and we will click on it and play it back again, and it's right there. That looks good. It's a bit bigger than a human, which is, or taller than a human in its origin, which is something we want to do anyway. So for now, we have made it do a single burst, definitely. We didn't do anything else so far. Velocity, we removed it, correct. We have at set position, and now we will be able to animate, or we need a float. So if we decide to animate or to change the velocity in the Y, we'll just be doing that thing here. We'll just be manipulating that thing here. Okay, so now we know it will be 3. So we'll add a float. We will call it, will be a float, and we will call that float, drum rolls, please, or, come on, remember, Jack, float, come on, float, Y offset. Okay, orb Y offset. This will be the value of 3 for now, because that is the value we used. Okay, this will be hooked in the set position. Amazing. Cool. Let's check if everything is correct so far. That is wrong, because what we need to do is expand that and expose the Y-axis. Okay, and now we have a better way to, or actually a correct way to hook that up. Okay, so we have added a set position, we have named a float for it and hooked it up with it. Then we have added a lifetime, correct? And we have added a float to the lifetime. Amazing. So far, we are on track to create that orb. So first thing we did, just to review what we've been doing, is we decided, is it a single burst or is it a continuous burst? This one decision helps a lot with bringing your effect back to what it needs to be, or closer to what it needs to be. Then the second question we've asked ourselves is, do we really need velocity, and what type of position do we need? Do we need a set position? Do we need a set position shape? Do we need other stuff that we could learn in the future? Then we've decided if the lifetime constant, if the lifetime needs to be random or constant. And we decided for a constant because this will be seriously just one particle going up and down until it goes to the ground and it explodes. Okay. So far, we have identified what we need in the beginning, which is the most crucial thing to start. For me, this part is still very challenging, but I guess the more you do it, the more you get used to it. The more you start effects, maybe we should have a session where we just start different effects and we don't finish them. It's like quick sketching. When you quick sketch, you're quickly sketching ideas and you're not sketching or copying someone. I really would like that. I would like just one session of throwing ideas around and check them out. Okay, so far so good. We have everything we need. I will pause the recording for YouTube and the stream will continue and then we will learn more. All right, so far we've learned a couple new tricks, starting with the output particle quad. Now we will be able to manipulate the size and add animation curve to the y-axis, and we will see how we can do that now step by step. So first of all, we will need to add a set size. Once we've added the set size, we need a size float for it. So we will just do that now. I will add a float, it's normal stuff, and it will be called orb size. Orb size, amazing. Cool. And now we will take that and hook it up to the size. Good. For now, this will be a 1 value, just normal stuff. Okay. And now we will add one more thing, which will be size over lifetime. We have it right there, and it will need to multiply. Okay, so far it will grow from small to big, as we see here. Is there a way I can make this loop set? Okay, nah, we can just reply it like that. On play, on stop, debug mode system. Okay, so we'll just play this when we need to see it. Oh, my leg hurts. Switch. Okay, so far we have a set size that will determine how big the thing is. If it's a 10, it will be, it's 110, it will be huge. Yeah, it's really big. We don't need that. So 1 for now, and it will be multiplied by the value of the size itself. Okay, so far we've added that. We have changed the override to multiply, and now we will add something called set position over lifetime. Set position over lifetime will allow us to animate. As it says, set position over lifetime, over life. Here we go. This thing needs to be below the orient, yeah, and it will also need to be multiply. Will be a value of not override, but to multiply. We will take the x-axis 0, and here 0. Just keep it on its same level. On the same level. And now we will add a position y. Let's just look it up. It's going up, staying down. Okay, and now we will add something we have not added before, ever, and that is called animation curve, and we'll call it exactly the same. Instead of animation curve together, we'll call it orb animation curve together, just like that. We'll expand that. We'll see we have a curve, a really nice curve, and if we take that down, we hook it with the y. We see that it's going up and down just as shown in here. And if we add that value here, it should go up, down, like up. You see it here. Up, down, and all the way up. So that will look weird, and we will see it together. Whoop, whoop, poof, and it will disappear. Okay. What we will do with this is take the curve as it is, try to experiment with it a little bit. So what we could do is make it go extremely, like in the beginning, it will go whoop, right? Just like, and then down, down, and then up, extreme down. Okay, so the beginning will be like this. It will pop up very quickly. Then it will go, might stay up a little bit, right? And then it will go down, and then up very slowly. Very easy stuff going on. And then it will go one more up. Actually, that will be right there. This will be 0. Or even below 0, it doesn't matter for now. And so this value will be right there. Another one will go down. And what we will have is this thing here going as such. And it will go right there. Let's see how that will look like. And we will hit on play. Zip. Zip. Okay. Completely off the timing here. We'll keep it together. We'll change the values to stay together. And maybe they go bigger by time. So the swings are a bit bigger. This needs to be a bit closer to here. And this needs to be there. Okay, we'll play that again. That should go whoop, stay, and then whoop, down. Okay. Whoop, stay, and whoop, down. Okay. I don't like the curve here at the end, so we'll keep it floating just normal. I feel like an anticipation, like whoop. Okay. Let's have that together. Get more of them even. Just keep them together, you know, and one goes up while it happens super quickly. Like it goes so much up and then down. And then it goes one more down and then it's like a swing, right? And then up and then it's gone. Okay. This will look odd now. The timing will look odd. Yeah, but it's right there. It's right correctly. It's done correctly. So we will have a very simple curve here. And we'll play with its values a bit. Yeah, maybe we'll delete that one. Give them some more time to do their thing. Like, give them time. I think I get very distracted with this. I'm going to show you. I get very distracted with this movement, right? But I forget that this stretch is time. And what I'm doing is I'm playing with movement. And I forget that this movement is playing in time. And I should always remember that the distance between those changes is time. And if I want to play with time, it doesn't matter how extreme I make those values. All what matters is the space in between those values. And we will see now how we could fix this. Yeah. Okay. Okay, it can go even more up in the beginning, definitely. Okay, we can delete that. Amazing. Now we have better control. Yeah, okay, let's play that again. So, okay, I feel like these can end up more to the right. This will be more to the right. So it will float. It will do its floating thingy. Can overshoot here quite a bit. Here a little bit like this as well here. So we'll just smoothen the animation a little more. Okay, let's check that out. Let's see how that looks like. Okay, at the end it's looking super weird. And that's due to the extreme changes here and no timing again. So what I will try to avoid is those squeezed elements, such as like when something is so close to the other one, I need to change that a bit. I need more space for it to show, to be staged, and then done. Okay, so far so good. We will save this, save that, save project, so we don't lose anything. Okay, And now we will drink some coffee. And we'll pause the recording, not for the stream, but for the YouTube. See you in a bit. All right, so we have learned some new things and they are quite exciting. We will start with the first thing, which is definitely changing the texture to our beloved texture, but we will change it later as well because we will make our own textures, which will be amazing. Okay, so flipbook, nope. Here, this needs to be additive. Amazing, we can see it right there. And now our dear color needs a nice gradient. So the gradient, like we did before, we would love it to be controlled from the outside as well. So we will expose that value as well. And this will be called warp gradient. Amazing. And now we will put it down there, hook it up, and we will create its value now. Should be quite simple, really. Just like that. Actually, it's quite simple. It's very simple. We will add, we'll make sure this is completely and fully how to say, opaque. The alpha should be on max, basically what I'm trying to say. And now we'll add some colors. Color 1 will start with, let's see if we decide to make this more in this section here. Let's start here then. We will start something dark and intensity of 2 maybe. We'll make it a bit darker. And here we will make this value in the turquoise area will be around 3.8. And the last value, actually, that's too intense in the color. This one too. I don't want it. I don't want everything to be super saturated as such. Then the last one will be a higher intensity, and maybe we make it red and will be around 5. Let's see. Maybe we make it red, less saturated red as such, and more orange maybe. Let's see how that works. And now we'll play it together. Restart. Here we go. I'd like it to change color here actually, as it's doing those animation curves. I think this one needs to be higher value than lower value. Yeah, okay. Actually, it could be nicer if it could does this first and then a smaller one, and then we go in a small one here. Okay, let's see how that plays out. Okay, it feels very stuck because it's not waving the same length. So we'll keep it waving the same length. And yeah, so let's see how that wave will look like. Okay, how many of it's doing? So first one, 2, second, and third. Okay, so we need that to be reduced a bit because it's way too much. You need to go. And now you can merge with this one, more or less. I feel this could benefit a bit more. And we need that to go way higher than the beginning. Yeah, something like that. I wanted at the end to go really nuts. Okay, so again, zip. Down and up. Okay, I feel like we can manipulate the spacing here more. Make it happen faster. Yeah, here we go. That's a bit too big now. You don't need to make values extreme to make it to work. Make it work. Just spacing, a bit of space manipulation, and it should work for us. Let's see. Play it again. Yes, that feels way better. Good. Starts cool, turns red, boom. Okay. Starts cool, starts cool, turns red. and boom at the end. So let's make that red. Let's make that as a, okay, and the intensity needs to go to 3. Something much lower here. We need a darker color. And yeah, okay, 3.6 is bright. Done. You, my friend, need to be on 3.6. And now at the end, you explode. You give us that boom. The boom needs to be more yellow. Okay, I love this. This looks so good. We'll play that again. And play that again. Okay. It's happening way too early. The alpha needs to go backwards. And this here, this right here. Yeah, this thing has to happen at the very end. Goodbye. Okay, and now we put this in the beginning and this in the middle and see how that works. Okay. We don't need that yellow. Let's keep it just red. It's just getting worse over time, and boom. Okay. Good stuff. We got it. We're communicating that light traffic effect, right? Green, yellow. Oh my god. Exactly. So green, yellow. Oh shit. Boom. Okay, good. Save everything. We're gonna make a new gradient here to have it always with us, and save again. Actually, it could be a nice practice to always have that to track the transitions of the colors. Like starts green, yellow, and then red. Similar to a traffic light. Okay, it's getting really cool in here. I'll just turn off the fan. I'll be right back. Okay, so it's better now. We will continue with the video, I guess, because we've completed everything, correct? Just one more thing is that we could select everything, right click on that, and we could can see it right here. Exactly, you click on the first value, maybe on the first thing here. You create a group selection. That group selection will be called orb. Yeah, something like orb add. Okay, you can't see it, but here it is. We'll rename that. So basically, are trying to organize our graph. So here we have it. Good stuff. Really cool things we're doing so far. I think the size, orb size, needs to be a bit on 3 maybe, and play that again. Let's see how that works. That's about right. We will still change that and play with the curve a bit more, I guess, just to see how that would look like. Yeah, something as that, but we would definitely play with those values, make them less intense. Wait a second. Excuse me. Okay, I just made it in the edit. I'm sorry. I need to sneeze, so give me a break. Okay, it feels better. Let's continue. We have modified the values here a little, and yeah, can make this here or like there, and then add the value, make it disappear. Let's see how that feels like. It feels cool. We'll probably change it later, but for now, it should be fine. Let's keep watching. I'll be right back, you guys on YouTube, and for the stream, we'll continue. All right, hello everyone. I went without unpausing. I still need to get used to that. It's not a big deal, really. We have been working on the simple texture, so it's a gradient so far. So I noticed it quite early, you might say. I've edited my setup, so if I draw on the graphic tablet here, you guys can still see it, which is cool. And this way you guys can see what is happening in Photoshop when it comes to menus and filters and things like that. So yeah, I will delete those effects that I just created. We just made this simple gradient. So do that. If you don't know how to do it, look up tutorials. There are enough tutorials online that will show you how to do this. And we'll go this place. Actually, it's not this place. It is radial. Yeah, so filter, distort, radial. Do I not have that? I'm gonna go back again. Okay, polar coordinates is the one. Okay, so filter, distort, polar coordinates. Okay, and now it's here, so I'll put it right there. Rectangular to polar or polar to rectangular. I think that is the one we're looking for. Okay, let's see if that's the effect he has.
We want the rectangular to polar.
Okay, that's definitely not the one he has. So what we'll do is we Control Z. I might have an idea why this is not working. We will have a duplicate of those two, put them in a group and hide it, and then put those together, merge them, and now we'll go radial, so distort, and polar coordinates. Okay, zoom out, and we still have that weird pivot. Okay, so rectangular to polar is the one we're looking for. Okay, so we will delete that again, put this, and now filter, distort, polar coordinates, and it should be the right one. Good. So now we have them separated, which is a good thing. If you're wondering why we have that effect here, it's not a big deal. It's just an effect I've done before. I wanted just to have the same aspect ratio. So we didn't do anything here. It's an effect I've done before. Okay, so what is with that black? It's not working out so well. We need it to be completely black. So dark black, pitch black, good. So what's next? What's next?
White edge, and then it fades
Let's
to
see.
the center.
Okay, so basically that's it. We will make a little variant, maybe just to, you know, for our own sake. We'll keep that little one, the one we just created, and we'll explore different ways. Maybe a fire version or something like that. We have our mask, and we're painting on our mask. This looks cool. Okay, let's give it. Yeah, let's give it a try. Let's see, a bit of here, a bit of here. Yeah, give it that. Give it that oomph that it needs somehow. Here a bit. Excuse my allergies, of course. And yeah, see here. Feel like it could use some nice stuff here. Yeah. See what else we could add to it. Yeah. I like this cutting out effect. Yeah, just like there. Yeah, I like that. I like this end of the brush here. Quite nice stuff. Here we go. Here we go. It's more. Just trying different things, see if it works for us. If it doesn't work, we didn't lose much really. It's fine. Try to make our own thing, right? So yeah, there's no room for shame if it doesn't work. It's all good. All good, man. Like, don't worry about it. It doesn't work, it doesn't work. It doesn't want to work, you know what I mean? Let it go. Move on, man. Move on. And here too. It's most of the stuff anyway. Most of the stuff don't work, and you just need to. You need to kind of let it go, man. Just let things go. Let them take their course. You know, there's some things that just don't work, and it inspires you to do something else. And if you just hold a grudge the whole time or something, it's not worth it. No one has time for grudges, man. No one has time. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. We'll end that up here. Give that a whisk. Give it some depth. Depth is like, got this away here a little bit. Like, I don't want to add too much details. Happy with the details we have so far. And if we could copy it also on the other side, amazing. But if that's not possible, just let it go. Their work. Let it go and move on. And and we'll just like that. Yeah. So we need to cut a bigger chunk here, I feel. And now we need to add some details back. Just very simple. I kind of like to have a bit of detail over detail, such as here. And here, I feel like I'm adding too small of details now, so I will go back to the major picture. I really like that line here we added. I feel like it added a lot to it. I feel like we're giving it a lot of identity of rotation here. Could be used later if we want. Sorry. And we'll cut more stuff. And add more stuff to create more depth. This way we have depth, and depth is good for the effect. There's a lot to learn, of course, but for now, that's good. We will go with what we have and embrace the idea of making mistakes. So feel free to try this at home, to try it while watching. It will take some time now until it's finished. But, you know, I'm showing you also my process, and you could copy it if you would like. Yeah, just don't, if this is the first time you're doing this, like, don't be afraid. Just cut and fill, and cut and fill. That's all what you do, man. Just cut, fill, cut again, and you do it with masks. And once you have a mask, you have nothing to worry about. Your progress is always saved. Cut and fill. Just cut randomly and fill randomly. If you feel like, oh, I can't add all of these details. Well, those details are nothing but cut and fill. That's it, man. That's what you need. And if you're worried you don't have a graphic tablet or whatever, that's the whole point of cut and fill. Cut and fill is that you're doing this, then you're doing this. So basically, you're doing what the graphic tablet already does. Those edgy, those points, you know. Sometimes I even use the mouse just so it does that effect. And if you're worried, just then go with the pen tool, do things like this, like that, and fill. And then you fill it with black, of course. Here we go. We added a nice detail. Then we go like this, that, then again, this and that. We just connect them together, fill path, and now we switch to the white. Do this, right? Alt click and click again. Too much. Click again, just like this. And we add it with the white. Okay. And now we cut and add. The same thing, just keep going. There are a billion ways to do it. Different methods, same result, basically. Of course, each result has its own style, but the main idea is basically the same. And I like the idea of adding a depth here. Then again, the keyboard is so far away. Okay, am I visible to you guys? Yeah. That's good. So we don't need to change much. All right, so add, cut, yes, and add, you know, and this effect will show so fast on the screen that those mistakes that you see here, they don't really matter for now, for learning. You're just learning. This is not your final portfolio piece. It's really just you try to figure different workflows out while having fun, while, you know, exploring and everything. So it's all good, you know, things are well. No one is dying if you fail. That's a good thing. There's no major responsibility here. You're not gonna kill anyone. No one is gonna kill you. Just do this, man. Just cut and fill. That's all. It's all what's needed. All the anxiety that you have, that you might fail, should not be there. It's just really simple stuff. If you fail, that's why there are feedback. Your image as a person won't change, really. Like, don't worry. Sometimes we suck. Just like when you play games, sometimes you suck at it, right? And so, yeah. it's just like that. It's a skill that you're refining. You're trying to build an understanding. And yeah, if you fail doing so, so be it. Those who might make fun of you, you don't want around you anyway. Yeah, that's all, man. Some people are just jealous sometimes, you know? And I'm sorry that it happened to you if you ever felt this way. But it is just a feeling. It's valid though, but we all fail, man. We all fail. Completely fine. We all have moments. Okay, this looks good for now. Yeah, what y'all think? Think this is valid? Okay, so we will give this a glow. Just so it doesn't lose its touch, you know. So outer glow, we will put the range a bit more, size a bit more, opacity a bit less. Just something like that gives it this oomph, right? If you look at it from far away, it looks cool. We'll delete whatever is inside because there's something inside that is bothering it. Yeah. Okay, this is cool, guys. This is also cool. Maybe a mix between both is also cool and valid, but let's see. We will make it all white. Yeah, there's something definitely inside here that we don't want to be inside. Let's see what is happening. Are we? Get it away. It's a little bit of it is also actually quite cool. I like it. Yeah, get it away as much as possible. We've maybe switched colors and painted over it. That's fine. And now we will see where that thing originated from, actually. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so we will first of all create. Ooh, this looks awesome, by the way. Okay, there's a couple of things we will do now, okay? Okay, so we will export a couple of them out. So this will be one of them. So we'll create an image. If we go image, apply image. Right here, it will create whatever you see on a layer. Then you select the greens, which control and click on the greens. Wait a second. We need, okay, so go to channels and control select the green, and this should only select the brighter values. Think about it like green screen, right? So, and now shift control J should take this out of it. And now we have it, and we could put it on another layer or out of the group. Alt hide, so it only keeps the thing inside. Then Control U, bring that to the brightest because sometimes it takes out the black parts. Alt Control S and save it as a PNG so it saves the alpha. And now we will create a new group, call it orb. Is this the... Yes, it is. So orb textures. I mean, it is texture file. So what is it going to be? Orb, nice. This will be radial. I'll call it radial fancy. Radial fancy, cool. And one will be... let's see. I mean, it's not that fancy, is it? We had another thing going on. It is fancy. Okay, so we will save this one. Actually, before we save it, we need to delete some of the stuff again. Like here, that's unfinished. Feels like an unfinished business. Yes, so we'll make this a bit... See, now I'm using the mouse because I want something quick. Okay, and I could even be using the pen tool. That's fine too. All right, Alt, click, click. And one here, click. Actually, keep it. And draw this area here, click. Now draw it out. Okay, let's see how that will work out if we have the black fill. Okay, looks amazing. Good. And the stuff out, sorry. This one too. Yeah. Here. Just to note. Yeah. Nice. And here too. Really, we could use the pen tool again here. Create some nice details. Yep. Fill path. Good. Yeah, we have some stuff going on. We can cut like triangles here and there to give the illusion that there are different things happening and not only circular movements. Okay, let's get rid of a lot of stuff. Nice blackout and Alt S, Alt Control S, orb, PNG. Go to PNG. Let's zoom out on this. Looks good. Orb, fancy. Good. And orb default. We have this default little texture. Looks good. We'll PNG that thingy. And add it right here with radial texture. Radial. That's it. Okay. Good. A little bathroom break. We'll be right back. I really need to go. And I see you in 5. Yes. So pause the recording. Say, all right, so we will go to the textures. Shaders here, texture here. You guys can see this. No, you see this. So we need to put it a little more up or a little right. Okay, so here we have here and get back to project. Good, good. So you get to see it. Orb and this, and now we will enable alpha is transparent and apply that. And this way we have the transparency of those textures that we created. Okay, so far so good. We will continue now. In the video, we'll be right back. All right, we've learned new stuff. One of the new stuff will be that we will create another animation curve, and I actually was anticipating that. It will be called orb. Second, let me disable caps. Orb size. Animation curve. So that is good so far. We'll take that orb size animation curve and put it right next to the size. First, we will need to copy the size. I really like our animation here. It's not super bad. Copy value. Oh, no, wait a second. Why is it not? Okay, what we will do is we'll create a new one. You know, and now here we'll edit. Good. His is a bit different in the course, but we don't really need to follow everything to a T. And now we will add the radial texture that we created. Maybe we'll go with the less fancy one. It's fancy 2. Let's try fancy 1. Yeah, the first one. Actually, the second one. All right, and now we give it a spin. Yeah. We need rotation over lifetime. I bet we could add that here. Rotation. Okay. Should be here, right? Rotation. Rotate. Okay. Size is here. Okay, rotation is not here. Okay, so we might need it here. Rotation. Okay, here either. Here, rotation. Okay. There are no rotations. Let's get a Google it real quick. Rotation. Be right back. So we just have found out through a very short Google research that it's right there actually, and it's called angle. And so it's called set angle, I think. Set angle exactly over life. That's good. we will play around with the stuff here. Check if they're overriding. Maybe they should multiply. Get out of here. Okay, now it's might be something else. Okay, so set angle. What else is there? By speed or life, set angle random, set angle from map, from curve, from map, sequential, from map, set angle from map, set angle Y. I think I get it. Go here, and on the right side, if you guys can see this, it's called by component, which we need. However, let's see, override angle. We could change that too. It seems X, Y, Z, maybe Y only. And maybe, is there a way where I could change the curve over live per component? Y over live, override angle. Position, velocity, direction, color, alpha, size, lifetime, age, pixel density, I guess. Axis Y, axis X, axis Y, axis Z. Alive mass, target position, angle, angular velocity, pivot, and scale. Well. We need just to manipulate the angle and put it up to... Oh my god, it's gonna be quite the interesting curve here. Oh my god, it's gonna take a lot of time. Is there a way I could just give it a... Yeah, of course it will loop, that's for sure. And we will... Yeah, but this is so tedious though, to work like that. I mean, is there just a way where I could make it a 360 and then it should work? Oh my god, is that going now? It's quite weird. Don't want to mess with the y-axis. Well, we'll change it to the x-axis then. Play that. Nothing. The Z, is that the one we need? Yeah, that's the one we need. Is there a way I could add that a bit faster, you guys? I mean, come on. Unity, please. Please, Unity, make my life a bit easier, please. Yes, thank you so much. You just have to say please, Unity, and it should work. In 1 second, it should go to 360. However, it's not showing me 360. We need to zoom in even more because it's not allowing us to put numbers for some freaking reason. And we need the loop to be not steps, but this only like that. It made it though go the other way, right? Right click. Oh, how about right click here and we make it flat? No, not flat. Linear is the one we're looking for, and left tangent linear is the one we're looking for, and now it should loop per second, right? Okay, play that again. That is going way too slow. How did we do this now? That we made it up and down. Shift. It's quite weird how this control works. How does this feel now? Yeah. Okay. I could play with that. Looks fine. Shift, right? Alt shift, right click. Yeah. Alt shift, right click. Or let's make it a bit faster. Hell yeah. Looks good. The size could play a little more, and this way this will hide our curve quite nicely. And I'll do it a little bit like he did it in the course, where the frequency goes a little more after time, and then it does this like we did before, and it should go up, and maybe it disappears like we have it here. Let's see. Yeah, okay. I definitely see that we need to make this a bit more prominent. So we'll expand it as such. And now we'll let it play a little bit. All right, and now play it. Okay, we need to make this more prominent. Let's shift. And let's make those curves go bananas. And this curve way higher. And we need one where it expands quite quickly. All right, let's check that out now. And play that. All right. Orb animation curve. Which one are we actually dealing with? Here you go. That's why this is not changing. I was wondering why it's not changing. Okay, that's not good. We will Control Z some of the stuff we made. Okay, all the way back, and now we'll connect it to the size. Sometimes there are issues like that. It's cool, but it's too much. It's way too much. We'll make it less prominent, and here less prominent again. Just a bit of frequency change, and then it should go back to where it was. And this should go as quicker as it can, grow, and yeah, then start this process slower, then faster, less space, faster. Okay, and then up, and then down. Now we'll replay that. Lovely. Size needs to change. If I'm... Okay, so the size needs to change a little bit. Excuse me. Something 2, maybe? Play that again. Yeah, that's lovely. Color is good. It's a bit too white for me. It's a bit too white somehow. Let's try darker values of 3.2 for the red at the end. Okay, why is it going white? What is happening here? Okay, is it because it's not so saturated? Is that the reason? We'll check that out then. Restart. Yeah. Okay, so let's keep it like that for now. We'll play with it a bit later. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna open the window. Fresh air is needed. I'll be right back. Back here. All right, so I found out something cool. If you press on the plus here and add texture 2D, you are adding the ability to change that texture outside of the graph, of course, which is quite nice. So we will rename this to orb texture 2D. Good. And we will make sure this is exposed outside. It is. And we will choose our texture, which is radial. This one. Save that right there. Okay, double click on it and it should save it. I'll take it up here and hook it up to the main texture, and this should work now. Amazing. Cool. That means if I change something here, I take the other one and I restart. Ooh, that's a cool one, kinda. It looks like looks a lot like a portal, honestly. Let's stick to this one. I will go shortly to the bathroom and we'll be right back with you. Okay, so basically we'll create a little flare texture. We'll play with it a little bit. It should be quite simple to do. So a new layer, and we'll add that black here. And then we will add a gradient. And we'll just make it quite normal. Then not that. We should add it in a new layer actually. Here, okay, that's a bit too big. Here you go. And now we will, oh my God, why is it? Okay, so if it's doing that, go in the drop down to basics and take that one. And now you have it. And now we need it to be as such. This will now allow us to create a lot of them. So Control J, Control T, take the angle. And now create one as such, take both of them, Control T, and make it a bit of a more random angle. All right, now Control T again. And now we'll play with the size a little more. So we will do that number right there. All right, this looks good. And Control J again. We'll play with the size again. And right there. Good. Another one. Play with size. And thinner thingy here. Why is it snapping so aggressively? We need to, yeah, okay. And now here's size a little more. Create our own little thing. This looks amazing, you guys. We're gonna we're gonna duplicate it and do one last one, a bit smaller in size, maybe in the other direction, such as that. Okay, and now on top of all of those little flares, we'll put them together with Control E and select all the layer, G again, and just do one like that, do one like this, okay, one like this. And now with the V, move it around until it snaps in the middle. Another way to do it is to Control and select the background, and now with the tools of alignment, you make sure that they are in the middle. And now we will be able to make that flare a little less, like in the middle right there. And here we have our flare texture. Amazing, cool. I kind of like it to be like brighter in the middle, maybe. See how that looks like. Maybe something like that, and make another flare again with lower opacity, maybe. We will put it on top of it so we can control its pivot, because it's impossible to get the pivot correctly. Like in the middle, right there, opacity. Like now we could control it a little bit more. And here too, yeah, I like that barely. That effect, like when two of them are beneath each other, they create a less circular, less procedural, less computer-like. You see there are differences. One is brighter than the other. And now we try to play around with the blending modes. Maybe we find a blending mode that could make it more interesting, like this one, the overlay mode. You see it gave it more oomph in the middle here. I like that quite well, and we will save it. And we will save that into, let's copy that path, and I'm just gonna take that down a little bit so you guys don't see my structure, and just to have a bit of a cybersecurity protection. Let's see. We have it in the VFX no, this one. And now we will have texture, orb, PSD. Amazing. Now we save the PSD, and now we will take the background away from here. Control Alt S, and wait, go down a little bit, and Control V, and give me the old or coordinates. Nice. Now we go into the orb folder, and we call this flare. We need it into PNG. Now, here I am working on this. We'll call it flare, and maybe orb. Orb flare looks good. Okay, amazing, cool. So far so good. We will put this in the Unity file. It's already, because we saved it in the Unity directory. So what we will do here is check it out. It's right there. Allow alpha as transparency. And we will apply that so we see it. Excuse me. And now, if you're wondering how we could implement this, don't only copy the output particle quads, because that will copy it without those values, and that's not good because we need to have at least a texture. So, now wait a second. We will okay, wait, I copied it a bit wrong, but that's not a problem because the update. So we'll copy those elements here, paste them. First thing we delete is this. I copied it again by mistake, but it's not a problem. Okay, we make them inside the same group. Right there. And eventually we will need to connect them. And we do that similar to the way we connect. Wait, let me take those things. They're over each other now. Sick of come on now. Okay, wait. Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. Yes. Now we put them more to the right. Just like that. And now a bit more down. So they're aligned more or less. And now we take them together. Just like this. Yes, this is lovely. Good. And now what we could do is take that pipeline, right? It's like a pipeline. And we connect it to the copy right there. Okay. And now we don't see anything. Why? Because the texture we have created into a its own parameter or property. I keep saying parameter, but it's just property. Okay, so what we will do is, since we had that orb texture, I would like to add a new texture 2D and call it orb layer. Layer, is that how to write flare? Anyway, texture, we'll check it out. Layer with an E. Okay, texture, good. And now we'll take that, put it right there, take that one out, and we'll add 2D to it at the end. Okay, and now we'll take our flare texture right there, put it right in, and hook that up. And now we should be able to see some stuff. I don't like how it's rotating, so we'll take the rotation away, which is right there. Delete. Here we go. Good. I feel like I call them teeth, let's call them the claws. They could be thinner. So we'll go take it back, unfortunately, a little bit. What else can we do? We could add a mask to it. Duplicate it just in case if we mess with it a bit too much. Take the white mask here and play with it a little bit. Yeah, okay, so I would like to add some touches here. Might be too risky, but risky is what we would like to do anyway. Risky is what brings fun into this. Okay, and now X again. Take the white color again, delete that here. All right, delete it away and back again with the white inside here. Maybe black even, because we need to cut it quite a little more. That's a bit too much cutting. Here we go. And I'm using shift here. So click, shift, click, and it should connect it. I like how pointy this is. Let's keep exploring that idea. And you know, it doesn't work. It doesn't work, man. It's completely fine. Completely fine this way. It doesn't work. That's fine, man. Doesn't matter. You just try it. If it doesn't work, not a big deal. So let's see here. That's the thing with risk. You should be completely fine with losing everything. And in my case, I know I won't lose everything. So we're just gonna go. We have the knowledge, we know how to use it, and if we have questions, we have Google. We always have something to lean on when we have mistakes or when we made mistakes. And in my case, yeah, mistakes is all what I could do. Completely fine. Okay, so this is quite nice. I feel like I could cut quite some time by using the pen tool, actually. And I could have a way cooler edges. Just like that, right? And now we'll cut that out. So control, right click, make selection, and fill it up with blackness. Or even with the brush, just go over it. So you have that grungy texture that we are working with so far. Feel like this could be cut quite more even. Yeah, the more we have those gaps, the more we have the flare working for us a bit better. And, you know, you could always revert it. You could always revert that effect. What I'll do now is barely go over it, over that selection, because this might give us now the grunge texture that we're looking for. Like, just barely go over it. Alright, so let's see how that looked like. It doesn't look so bad, but at the same time, we ended up with this thing here that could mess it up quite much. Okay, we're getting cuts. We're getting some nice cuts. I feel like I said, it's way too bright, and we learned from it. Now I'll go with fill path here. I'll switch back to black with hitting X, hitting on X. All right. Now we would need more cuts again. Fill. How does that look like? All right. It looks like weird here now. So we'll add some of it back. But as we do so, we will only add it with the gradient tool and opacity on 100. Now let's just slowly add that back so it doesn't look super bad in the middle. Like as such. Doesn't look so bad. Okay, so what we will do is Ctrl Z that. I was testing it. And here, and fill path. Okay, with the black fill path. Good. And here, fill that. And again. Okay, we're just examining, we're testing. If it doesn't work, we'll move on and we'll continue. All right, fill. Good. Not extremely good, but I feel like when we kept some of the edges, it looked better. So when we cut some of them away and we kept some of them in, it looked cool. So let's continue that workflow here. All right, so same story right there. Like if we just keep some of it, it shouldn't be so bad. Like just some of it should be actually quite cool. All right, keep that hard edge for later. Experimenting with things, it's completely fine. All right, so yeah, lovely. Looks cool. Here we need some of it back as well. Some of that back. Right. Here too. Are we putting too much time into this? Could be, yeah. Let's put more flavor, more to blend them together more. I like how it looks like from far. I feel like we could maybe go a bit more absurd. Let's cut it like right in the middle. How does that look like? Black. Fill path. Don't like it.
But what we could do is select this here and make a selection. Now we could create that depth that we always talked about, right? How would that look like? So if we have basically a selection as such, and we are touching on it with a very, very low flow, how would that look like? Yeah, that's very nice, and I like the texture of it too. So yeah, basically we will probably just do that now. We'll take those edges, there. Okay, let's make a selection with the brush now. Just barely with the graphic tile, just barely touch it. Could be sensitive, like just barely go over it. How does that look like? Like the texture that we're getting. All right, and now if I use the distort, just dissolve here, bit more. How does that look like? It's cool. Let's keep that one out. This one in, a bit more in, like literally in. So yeah, and one more, and then white, and then expand. Maybe in the normal way. Just a little, you know, glare basically. Okay, glare. I don't know which one is correct now. Save. We will take the black out and PNG that. Go back to the directory that we were in. Here we are. And go inside here in the orb. We will replace it indeed because I didn't like it to begin with. Now we will go back to the Unity file. Unity file. Please don't tell me you crashed. All right. Now we will replay that. Replay. Yes. Yes, I like it. Orb size needs to go away, and now we go with something like 4. Yes. Okay, play that again. Alpha clipping needs to go away if we ever have used it. We did not use it, that's good. I feel like it could use way less gradient in the middle. Let's pause it. And now we will play with the size too. Whoa, now 1, maybe 1.5, 1.3, 1.2, 1.3, maybe. Yeah, I like that. Like that quite well. Yes, maybe more gradient indeed. Maybe more of that touch. How would that look like if we added? No, okay. Let's take that middle gradient more outwards. T. And all right, and we will save that now. Again, no background. Alt Control S. Take the same directory and orbit. Copy that, always orb, and projectile now right here. PNG, please. Don't forget that, and replace it again. And go back to our Unity file, which should replace it right now. Okay, now we're talking, guys. All right, play that again. All right, that's good. That's good. Good stuff so far. Let's see. We need to rename some stuff. That animation curve. I mean, we could duplicate things, right? Duplicate. Good. If we can duplicate things, things will be way easier. Okay. Now I'm sick of standing, so we'll put this down. Bring the chair. There. Okay. Sit on the chair, and we will mix. All right, to the next step, which is we'll start with the area of effect. And the way to work with that, so far that I understood, is we need to go back to our prefab
And right there, we will duplicate our VFX graph orb. We will change it to AOE. And then we will put it also in the same hierarchy. And now we just have the same effect again. But the way to change it is that first we save this. Then we click on the AOE. We double click on that. Now we're editing it just to not be confused. I'll take that out and press X, right? Not full screen. I'll press X. And we'll start going inside of here now. And let's see. Well, the first step, in my understanding, is that we would delete some stuff because this effect will be on the ground. So we will delete the flare effect. We don't need that. We'll delete those. And let's start renaming stuff because we need to stay organized. First of all, here I'll add a OE ground effect. Okay, so we got that AOE ground effect. I'll copy that name actually and put it right. Can I rename this? Is it doable? Rename. Okay. Name context. Why is it effector? A call came by. I will take the call. I'll be right back, guys. So as we were going, we were renaming things, as we can see here. Let's copy that one. Let's rename it properly up there. And we can now rename the orb stuff that we created. Well, we might not need that anymore, so we will just keep going here and call that AOE ground effect texture, just in case we need properties in the future. We will just keep it as it is. We might not need animation curve though. So if we clean it up a little bit just to see, this is a size over lifetime. We need that. Yeah, let's keep that one. Size animation curve. Yeah. Then we need the gradient. Probably we'll keep that. So we'll rename it actually to, yeah, exactly. Maybe we keep it to simple name like that. Because this is taking way too much space and it's not readable. Let's keep it to a simple name such as that here. We'll delete some stuff. Keep it simple. Do we need an animation curve for the y-axis? We will probably not need that, so we'll delete it. The texture is there. Well, the size, we will probably need that, so we'll delete the orb and add our AOE. Offset, the Y offset, do we need that? It's called the Y offset and it's here. Well, just in case, let's keep it. And we'll just call it the same name. And we'll take that down a little bit. Let's keep the lifetime as well. We will need this thing. Amazing. And now one of the first things I would like to do is before we save, we need to add the proper texture here, which will be just the normal texture. Big enough. We will add the texture that we need, which is the radial. The proper easy to use one. We'll enable the player. We'll select it in hierarchy. And we will replay some stuff. We are. Yes, okay. So we see it. We need to pause it now. And in the orientation, we actually need Look at position, look at line, advanced, fixed axes. The one we need. And maybe one. Whoa. What is happening? Okay. That's probably the wrong one. We want along with, no, we want look at line. No, we'll not look at this shit. It's going up, and that's due to the position of a life. Now we'll play it again. It's way too up here. We will probably need to put it down, and that is by changing the value here. We will not need that here, I think, but just in case, y offset 0.1, maybe 0.2. 3, 4. Okay, let's check that out. Play it again. Pause that. Go inside. I feel like they are not aligning both of the effects anymore. And we will check that by playing both of them. Okay, wait a second. Play that. Wait. Okay. And now we'll play both of them. Make sure they're on the same isometric and top. Okay, that's good. And now here we'll probably need a much bigger size. So we'll go with 5. All right, that's cool. We will zoom in a little bit and play that again. Play that again. Play that again. Okay. The reason it's not showing up is this here. Okay, play that again. Here we go. Boom. All right. Here we go. We need to adjust the size, the curve. And that is to it's a big and at the end even float. We will learn more about that, I think. But for now, oof, yeah, I like it. Goes up and then up gradually. And then it should go down to the 0 value. And here we need to break those 2, 3. Here we go. It should follow it quite nicely. Like something like this. Wait, shift. That's more like it. And now we zoom in. Try to fix that just a tiny bit every now and then until it fits. So wobble, 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 boom. Okay, it should happen a bit after that. So after the fact, right there, and play that again. Boom. Okay, so what we would do is not only take that key, but also take the one before and play that again. So wobble, 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 up, gone. Good. What we would still need to edit is the gradient. And the gradient needs some love, and that is by making it disappear a bit tiny later. But one other way to do it is to play with the lifetime and give it a 3.3. All right, so, and now we will play them together. And here we go, wobble, 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 boom. There's a bit of offset. I like that. Yes. All right, size, need to comply now a little better. And we just go a little. Actually, it should be gone by now. Okay, will be gone as such. All right, go, wobble, 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 boom. A bit of offset is making a lot of offsets. So we'll play that again. Let's see. It's way too. It's like it's so visible. So we need just quite. Is it even faster? That's the question. Play rate, keep it on 100. Okay, we're gonna just make it slower. So what is happening when this is switching. It's interesting. We'll keep it for now like this. We might edit that later. For now, we will keep learning, and that is through watching the content. For now, we've done everything that we needed to do. Position over lifetime, that thing we deleted. Just going through my notes. Orient parallel to ground. We've done that. Change names of, we did that. Set angle, yeah. We didn't need to do that because we chose a different method. Soft particle, we disabled that. However, we need to go back to the orb. We need to click on the edit here, which takes us to the shader, to the graph, not the shader, to the VFX graph. And we need to enable one little thing, use use soft particle, because this will allow us to view it from far away and without it interacting with the ground. Exactly. Good. So far, so good. We'll play both of them just to see the effect. And we need the rate to be 100. I like it. Good stuff, guys. And so we will play the video right now and learn some more stuff. So recording will be paused for a while. All right. So what I learned so far is this is a bit too much. It's going all over the place. The color is not consistent. So what we learned is less is more. And so we will give this a constant color. We will take out a lot of the colors here. Actually, I like that one here. We will make it darker. And so we will make it go with from 0 to basically 4 here. Or maybe 5 even. Wait, let's get 5. And we wanted to do that curve right there. Wait, let me show you. So y'all can see what I mean. So if we have a 0 intensity here and 5 intensity here, we want it to go quite fast to 4 and then gradually just stay barely moving, right? So let's do that. Let's make it do this for us. So this is 5, right? And now we will add 1 with 4. So it will do the intensity transition quite fast. And we'll make sure that this is on 5. And this is maybe 3.5. Let's see. 3.5. All right. It's going there. It's okay. Actually, that's not as smooth as I thought. That's much smoother. And then we'll turn it back to black. With 0 intensity. All right, that's awesome. Same thing here. It will start with blue. We will add one here. Take that back. And this one also at the end. This should gradually start have intensity 1. And with blue intensity 1.5. Wait, maybe that's blue. Now we see how that works together. All right. Let's see how that works. So less is more, and one of the parts of keeping it less is more is by not only deleting some of those, but make them more subtle. So they happen in a subtle manner. Maybe a bit bigger in the middle here. Then, of course, at the end, they go such. That is the size animation, and we'll play that again. All right. Color is changing quite a lot. We don't want that. We almost like we need the opposite of that. So we don't need so many colors, as I mentioned before. Intensity 5. Okay, that's nice. It will only... All right, so let's play that again. Check it out. Yes. All right, the animation is still going way too subtle here, and we just need it to go do things quite subtly. And we will play both of them now just to check how that plays out. One of the things I see is if we go to the orb here, we definitely need the offset to be on 2 and the size to be on 0.5. And we need to play both of them now together again. Yes. All right, so the area of effect to be saved, orb needs to be saved, area of effect here, changing too many colors, so we will keep it to its origin, very dark orange, and it ends up with the same idea, very dark red. However, so turn off, it turns off eventually. Right, that works together with everything. Let's see how that works out and play it again. Yeah. Why is it turning blue is the question. Save that. There's a blue value that I quite don't enjoy. Let's turn that back to 4. Check if it will stay on red. Okay, so I can see that this value is causing a lot of trouble. And I just want it to stay consistent. Okay. Now, less saturated. Awesome. And less saturated. Just more of it, slightly. That should be it, man. Let's play that again. So why are we getting that yellow value from? Less intensity, I guess. And more orange. All right, let's play that again. Let's check it out. Lovely. We will play that, both of them again. Check. Some contrast is very nice. All right, so we've created that effect now. So far, I feel like we could definitely give the orb, this orb right here, a better color, maybe more less saturated, orangey, lower values. Maybe this could be so lower. Let's see how that plays out. And now everything is changing together. I feel like we need to duplicate the gradient. Duplicate it. We'll call that layer gradient. Okay. The flare gradient will play a different role, and it's right there. This will be out, this will be in, and flare gradient, please play the same. And now play both of them together. That's cool. All right. What we could do is keep it blue. So nothing changes until the end. Basically blue again. Let's check how that plays out together. Right. Boom. All right. This should be here. This should be there. All right. You could go down a notch. Even a 1 in the value. It should transition quite gradually. Right. And play that again. And we play both. Restart. Go. Boom. All right. Texture to this one will be not only that, but try the fancy one. Here we go. This one. Play that again. Yeah. Yeah, now we have something, guys. Cool. And area of effect. As for the area of, save that, man. Save it. All right. Okay, so I think that is good enough for now. We'll play both of them. All right, that's amazing. Let's take the gizmos away. All right. Yeah, this is looking good, guys. We'll take the hand. It's looking amazing. Cool. All right. Thanks for joining in today. I hope you enjoyed the stream and you enjoyed watching this video. This is episode 6. It won't be the last. I'm working on more of those. I will, however, start with Houdini tomorrow. And so tomorrow you will be expecting a whole different series, but we will come back to this one very soon as I know the workflow and a couple of things that I'm trying to work on behind the scenes. So yeah, thanks for joining today. Really appreciate the comments. And as always, if you haven't followed on Twitch, check out the Twitch stream. Give me a follow there. It would mean a lot to me. And we stream daily from Monday till Friday between 9 and 15. What is it called? The Universal Time. So check that, how it's going to be on your end, where you live. No problem if you can't catch up to the stream. Check out the YouTube videos, the other series in the playlist, or the other episode in the playlist. Thank you all for joining, and that's it for today. See you tomorrow. All right. You guys take care. Bye.